serving fans throughout the Midwest and even more around the world. This is the Show Me Sports Network. The following is an exclusive broadcast property presentation of the Show Me Sports Network and is a high-fidelity all-digital broadcast. This broadcast is copyright of the Show Me Sports Network for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast without the Show Me Sports Network's written consent is prohibited.
Oh, I can go for some weather like this, kind of overcast, a little chilly out, but not too bad. I don't want it to be beating down, the sun beating in my face, especially during football. I'm sure these guys don't want that either.
Oh, yeah, no, it's about 70 degrees out here, cloudy skies outside, as we'll go ahead and take you down to the field camera real quick. As you can see out here, the lights are on as we've got just about 20 minutes to go until game time, and we'll bring you back into the studio here. But a little bit overcast out there. We saw some sprinkles on the way in. Not too bad, though, and it seems like it's going to be a great game for some football. And beyond that, it's two teams that are kind of just altered their season with their last game. You see, Eldon had their first loss of the season, where Hallsville had their first win of the season. So a little bit interesting there, and I'm intrigued to see how these two teams are going to respond in their first game coming off of changing that undefeated or all-defeated season around.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see. I was actually going to bring that up just after you did. But so the teams, Eldon is 3-1, Hallsville is 1-3. Both have kind of struggled against other of the better teams in their schedules so far. Neither have beat a team with a winning record. I will say Hallsville has been more competitive with those other good teams, but their record is 1-3. So it'll be really interesting to see which team is really kind of solidifies herself, because their records are different. Teams are about in the same tier.
Of course, a tri-county conference matchup. Both teams are 0-1 in conference play, or in division play. Conference play. I'm getting my sports mixed up on here, but nonetheless, an exciting tri-county conference game coming up along the horizon. We've got a little bit for you on the pregame show, of course. A segment that I started last week. We've got our highlights coming up for you in just a bit. We've got a lot of Hallsville highlights from last week. Of course, a big win, 46-15 over Macon. An exciting game, to say the least, and I'm excited to see what Hallsville has to bring for this week. Of course, we've also got on this date in Hallsville history, going back to 5 years ago with Justin Conyers' first season, and kind of connecting the dots between that one and this season. Then, of course, we've got your starting lineups presented to you by Cassandra Gazaway, Mary Kay, independent beauty consultant. All of that coming up on the Hallsville pregame show here. So until then, we'll be right back as we have, again, the highlights coming up for you next here on the Show Me Sports Network.
Running out of some of your favorite Avon products and haven't seen an Avon brochure in quite some time? No need to worry. Avon Independent Sales Representative Michelle Carty can help with your Skin So Soft makeup, jewelry, fragrance, and skincare needs. Avon now carries cleaning supplies, clothing, daily essentials, and several small LG electronic items. You now have the opportunity to shop online 24/7 and have your order shipped directly to your front door by shopping with Michelle at mcarty.avonrepresentative.com or find her on Facebook by searching Avon Carty.
The Boone County Journal is the hometown newspaper of Ashland and Hartsburg since 1969. We know you're busy. Let us keep up with Southern Boone happenings for you. We cover social events, school sports, local government, Southern Boone history, obituaries, and more. Subscribe to the Journal today and get the paper delivered to your mailbox every Wednesday. Digital version also available. Call 573-657-2334 or visit bocojo.com. Independent and veteran owned.
At the Tin Roof Monogram and Gift, we know a gift is more than a box or a bag with a pretty bow. A gift is the lifetime of love that you share. It's friends who grow as close as family. It's moments and milestones, both big and small. Whether receiving or giving, a gift brings joy and happiness. That's why, since 2018, we've made it easier to gift for those you love. Stop by the Tin Roof Monogram and Gift at 108 Corporate Lake Drive in Columbia or call 573-443-4438. Let us help you find that perfect gift for every occasion.
See Seeking to express your unique style? How about healthier, clear skin? Look no further than Mary Kay. For more than 60 years, Mary Kay has been offering a wide range of high-quality makeup and skincare products that empower you to shine and stand out in any setting. From luscious lipsticks to vibrant eyeshadows, flawless foundations to glowing highlights, moisturizing serum to blemish and acne regimens, Mary Kay's got you covered. If you don't have a Mary Kay beauty consultant, then I've got you covered. To get your best skin, call me, Cassandra Gasway, today at 417-684-2667 or visit online at marykay.com/Cassandra Gasway.
Well, hello and welcome back into the booth here from Eldon as the Hallsville Indians get ready to take on those Eldon Mustangs in just a bit. But before we get to that, here on the Hallsville pregame show, let's go ahead and take you back to last week when Hallsville took on the Macon Tigers. An exciting game ended in a 46-15 victory. Here's what the highlights looked and sounded like on the Show Me Sports Network. Again, Wyatt Morris in the backfield. Here's a snap. Heavy on the O-line. Morris taking it up. He breaks a tackle, tries, dives, end zone. Touchdown, Hallsville. They take the early lead in the game, and it's 6-0 with 2:30 to go in the first quarter. Matheny takes the snap. Quick throw left side. Got some time. Isaac Stinson tries to juke out a man. He does. Now cuts in. He's up to the 30, up to the 20, 10. Pushed out of bounds at the 6-yard line. A huge play. A gain of 35 yards. And Hallsville's got this ball all the way into the red zone, and they're ready to punch it in. As now they get back out there. Empty backfield for Matheny. 3 receivers on the right, 2 on the left. Here's the snap. Matheny taking it himself. He's got a hole. Up into the end zone. Touchdown, Hallsville. Braden Matheny breaks into the end zone, and it's 12-0 in the second quarter. And now Hallsville's got a new set of downs. 1st and 10 from the 27. Matheny again, the empty backfield. He'll drop back. Quick throw over the middle to Ski. It's caught. He jukes inside into the end zone all the way. Touchdown, Hallsville. 27 yards for Aiden Ski. As Hallsville extends their lead to 18-2. 50 seconds. Matheny is back alone in the backfield. Here's the snap. He's not dropping back much. He's going to immediately throw left side. It's caught up the sideline at the 5 into the end zone. Touchdown, Hallsville. Isaac Stinson takes it home. 44 yards to the house. Hallsville up 3 possessions. 4 receivers on the right side, 1 on the left. That's Stinson. Smith goes in motion to the left side. Here's the snap. Looks down. Matheny now looking over the middle. He's got Aiden Ski wide open up the middle. He breaks a tackle. He's up 10-5. Touchdown, Aiden Ski. 59 yards to the house. Hallsville up 36-2. And welcome back into the booth here from Eldon, Missouri. I'm Austin Thomas, and you just got done listening and watching all of the highlights from last week's game. And, well, we've got some more for you on the pregame show coming up. We've got a Take You Back Day, a little bit of a history lesson going back to On the State 5 years ago, not too far in the past. Justin Conyers' first season, and it's Paul Stevens' first season at the helm for Hallsville this year. So maybe we'll get to see a little bit of a similarity there. It was a Hallsville win going back 5 years ago, in an interesting game that I love to take you through. But make sure to stick around for that. That's coming up in just a couple minutes. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we've got that for you on work and Hallsville Indians pregame show.
At Centurion Cares, for more than 3 decades, their focus has been on exceeding customer expectations for contact center software solutions. Their innovative communication solutions include utility interactive voice response software that allows for smart communication features that let your utility deliver superior customer service 24/7. They also provide other streamlined services like automatic call distribution, automated customer callback, reporting, and quality assurance. To find out more about how Centurion Cares can help your business, call them at 727-421-5300 or look them up online at centurioncares.com. Centurion Cares, innovative communication solutions.
There's no better way to celebrate a special event or show someone just how important they are to you than gifting them something handcrafted from Country with a Heart. Handmade in mid-Missouri, Country with a Heart specializes in hand-built woodworking projects for every occasion. Their design collection includes children's furniture, doll furniture, household items, holiday decor, outdoor decorations, custom projects, and everything in between. To view their full inventory of projects, visit countrywithaheart.com and find them on Facebook by joining the Country with a Heart group page.
The following public service announcement is brought to you by the Eddie Gaedel Society, Jefferson City Chapter 10, doing little things to make a big difference.
Want to make a big difference in your community? Be kind to others, drive safely, and put litter in its proper place.
Join us in celebrating Eddie Gaedel's historic Major League appearance as a member of the St. Louis Browns by doing something nice for someone today.
Take a walk, Eddie!
At Southern Boone School District, our educators do more than just teach. Lives are being shaped for the future before they even enter a classroom. For students to succeed, it takes an entire district-wide team. Our students need you. Join Southern Boone School District's team today, now offering competitive salaries and benefits for all positions. Visit ashland.k12.mo.us and click on the Employment tab.
Well, hello and welcome back into your Hallsville Indians pregame show here on the Show Me Sports Network. I'm Austin Thomas, and as we return to action here with the pregame show, it's time to go ahead and take that look back into 5 years ago. Now, we did talk about 5 years ago, going back to week one, the opening week of the season, and we talked a lot about some of the similarities between that game and the season opener for Hallsville this year. Now, I'm also going to talk a little bit about similarities again, but at this point in the season, there's a lot more differences. I'm going to take you back exactly to this day, 5 years ago, September 27th, 2019. And again, it was still in head coach Justin Conyers' first season with the Indians. Again, first season with the Indians for Coach Paul Stevens tonight, but a little bit of a different. Yeah, well, now that we've got Eldon out of the way, let's go ahead and break down that Hallsville starting lineup for you and the projected starters for the game today. For Hallsville, again, presented by Cassandra Gazaway, Mary Kay Independent Beauty Consultant. On the defensive side of the ball, on the defensive line, let's start there. As Killian said, you win the game in the trenches. Well, I guess these guys are going to like that. Jack Stockamp at D-end along with Jack Wooden, Luke Peasley, and Tyson Perigo in the middle at defensive tackle. In the linebacking core, Carter Giesler, Aiden Ski, Wyatt Morris, and Dalvin Smith. And then, of course, in the secondary, Eli Washam, Lawson Burks, and Landon Cunningham. And now for a look at the starting offense for Hallsville. Isaac Stinson, of course, in at wide receiver. Along with him, Lawson Burks, Aiden Ski, and Gabe Jenkins all in that receiving core. They'll be kind of swapping in and off the field throughout the game, have been making big impacts there. At the quarterback position, it's none other than Braden Matheny, the man under center. And behind him in the backfield, Dalvin Smith and Wyatt Morris will be the running backs tonight. And then at the offensive line, Liam Davis, Peyton Harlow, Connor George, Bryce Greening, and, of course, Tyson Perigo on the O-line. That is the starting lineups for you, presented by Cassandra Gazaway, Mary Kay Independent Beauty Consultant. Well, the first kick, the kick is about to be up and away here in Eldon. Don't go anywhere. Kickoff just around the corner here on the Show Me Sports Network.
We need you. We need you. We need you.
We need you. Now more than ever.
The Southern Boone School District is hiring part-time bus drivers for route athletics and activities with no experience necessary. Our drivers enjoy flexible work hours, paid on-site CDL training, and paid time off, all while helping our community. The position offers competitive pay. Go visit sbschools.us/employment.
We need you.
Hello, Blake Gazaway here with the Show Me Sports Network. I've had the opportunity to have some amazing calls, including overtime touchdowns, walk-off home runs, and buzzer-beating baskets. But I've answered another call. That's to serve my community as a volunteer firefighter. Stop and think what would happen if your home or property caught fire and no one was there to put it out. Every day, volunteer firefighters not only save lives and property, but also respond to other emergencies. Nearly 2/3 of our nation's fire departments are manned by volunteer firefighters. And because of this, we simply need more volunteers to step up and answer the call. Stop by or contact your local fire department and see how you can become a volunteer firefighter today. I answered the call to serve my community. Will you?
And welcome in.
Little uncharacteristic. Usually, they've combined for 491 yards and 6 touchdowns. Their rushing attack is usually phenomenal. So, good sign for the Hallsville defense for them to already be stopping that first play of the game.
Well, for those of you who have been tuned in since the beginning of the game, we just realized we've been calling this game without audio, so apologies there, but we are back on the air as we get ready to go from Eldon, and a handoff to Andrew Beanland. He runs this one up the middle, rumbling and tumbling his way to a first down. That was a 2nd and 11, and he ended up picking up 12 yards on that, all the way up to the 30-yard line. A great carry from Andrew Beanland. And first down for Eldon.
Yeah, that's more a little like the Eldon run game that we're used to. Eldon averages about 6 yards a carry on their rushing attacks. They just doubled it on the second play of their drive right there.
Yes, they did. Now Eldon gets set up. Shotgun formation, 2 running backs. Here's the handoff to Andrew Beanland. He spins his way through the defensive line and gets about 5 yards on that carry. Tackled down at the 26.
Notice how synchronized their offensive line was there. They all moved together as one unit, tied together, little hula hoop around them. Perfect blocking there for Beanland.
Well, a very experienced offensive line. 4 of the starters seniors and the other one a junior. And that junior is James Phillips, who is a phenomenal player for that team. Again, double running backs in the backfield. Here's some motion early on. A handoff right side. Andrew Beanland's got space, trying to break a tackle, somehow staying up, and tackled down finally at the 5-yard line. But a pickup of 20 yards or so-ish on that play. Gets him tackled at the 5.
Andrew Beanland looked a little bit like Derrick Henry on that play.
Yeah,
he
did.
dragged 3 guys with him. His jersey was almost off all the way. He was not going down easy.
I don't know how his jersey didn't snap right there.
That pure strength, he did not care.
Eldon in their group huddle and now breaking out to get set up. And it looks like loading the backfield, a full house formation here. Andrew Beanland in the backfield, and here's the handoff. Running it right side, end zone, touchdown for Eldon. Evan Beanland takes it in on a right side quarterback run, and it's 6-0 Mustangs at home.
And there's that devastating Eldon rushing attack. The read option is hard to stop when those two are together. The speed and the power, I mean, we just saw both used back-to-back. We saw Andrew Beanland drag 3 guys with him, and then Evan Beanland just blow right by an entire defense.
They are just so good back there, making it a 6-0 game. Just under 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And here's the PAT attempt. The kick is up, and it is good, as that was their kicker, Devin Hardy, out there. Good for the PAT. So the score sits at 7-0 here in Eldon. The Mustangs are ahead, and, well, now Hallsville's got something to work back from.
Yeah, not exactly the opening drive you want if you're Hallsville on either side of the ball. Still the first quarter, can reset, get back in your motions. You opened up the defensive drive pretty strongly, honestly, stopping them, forcing them to 3rd down really early. But obviously, that Eldon run game just kind of powered right through.
Yeah, and you look at this Hallsville team from the start of the season, one thing that they have been sticking and staying true with really the entire game has been the bend, don't break type offense, or defense, I should say. And while you look at the point totals and it seems like they haven't been great, I would beg to differ. It seems like almost every game they're taking teams to 3rd down, 4th down, multiple times on each scoring drive, but the other teams are just working it on those final couple of downs, and that's what's led to so many points being scored against them. It hasn't looked like the team has been letting up too many big plays. I will say that drive was not their best drive this season. They didn't really work those 3rd downs, and that'll be something to watch as the kick is up and away. Hallsville to return it. Gabe Jenkins, he's got it, trying to take it up the middle. He jukes out and at the 25 and pulled down at the 26-yard line, right around the middle of the field. And Hallsville will set up shop for their 2nd drive of the game.
Looked like you almost had a little bit to run there on the right side of the field. Could have maybe broke free if it wasn't for that last line of defense from Eldon. Good special teams play.
Yeah, really good right there. And with Hallsville, I feel like you look at the special teams as a spot of opportunity. Now, you haven't really seen any huge returns from the kick return department or the punt return department. You've seen some nice gains, though, almost every time. Hallsville getting back out and set to go. Wyatt Morris in the backfield with Braden Matheny. Isaac Stinson alone on the left with 3 receivers on the right. Here's the handoff to Morris, and he will take this one up the middle, trying to create something as he's wrapped up and taken down, call it 3 yards ahead of the line of scrimmage. A 2nd and 7 coming up.
Wyatt Morris is a big guy. He's not going to be easy to take down, same as Andrew Beanland. Wyatt Morris standing at 5'11", 190. He can use his strength to just plow right through.
Yes, he can, and that's going to be the kind of the big thing to watch for as this game continues. Here's the snap. Matheny, quick throw to Gabe Jenkins up the seam. He breaks 1 tackle, moves up. It's a 1st down for Hallsville. Getting close to midfield, tackled down at the 44-yard line. Still in Hallsville territory, though.
Gabe Jenkins making guys miss on kick returns and in the Yak game. Looking pretty shifty out there.
Yes, he is, and it's nice to see him continuing to get involved here as, well, you've seen a couple of guys take a step up since the beginning of the season. Of course, Isaac Stinson, you knew was going to be really good. Aiden Ski was maybe my surprise of the season to start off, and both Lawson Burks and, of course, now Gabe Jenkins trying to make a big impact here. Here's a handoff to Jenkins on the jet sweep, trying to push it up the left side. A flag is on the field. He went out of bounds after a gain of 2 yards, called him out at the 45, but we're going to have to see what the flag is on. I believe it's going to be a holding call.
Looked like it. Looked like when that line pulled a little bit to the left with him there. Was definitely thrown before he went out of bounds. Could have argued a little bit of a late hit there, but hold is thrown first.
Yeah, I believe, as long as you've got a foot in bounds, as long as you haven't gone out of bounds yet, then you are still able to be hit as if you are fully in play. So that would be the call here. But it is holding against Hallsville, so pull that back 10 yards. It'll be a repeat of 1st down, 1st and 20 coming up from the Hallsville 33. So a bit of a difference on the offensive situation. Hallsville's got a lot to work with, but they've got that passing game. Rolling out quickly on the right side, throwing downfield. It's a low throw, not caught by Dalvin Smith. It drops to the ground. He had to dive forward. It was a low throw, but he wasn't able to get there.
Good movement from Matheny there. It looked pretty good. It looked like Smith almost had it in his hands right there.
Yeah.
Kind of fell down on it. Came out at the very last second. Good execution, though, overall from Matheny. Get out of that pocket and find some open space.
Well, it seemed to be a difficult throw to make. He's kind of on the run a little bit. He tried to set his feet. He did set his feet relatively well. But the throw, again, not quite on the money. Also a difficult catch to make, though, but one that could have been made. Hallsville with 3 receivers on the right. Isaac Stinson on the left. Here's the snap. Matheny quickly on the right side slot, running it up the seam, and Aiden Ski breaking tackles his way up to the 44-yard line where he's taken down. It's a 3rd and 9 coming up.
I'm impressed by the Hallsville receivers right now and their ability to really create after the catch.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely been something that's really stood out to me this game. Of course, a lot of times you're seeing the routes get open throughout the season. That's one thing that we've noticed this season in general. One thing we haven't necessarily seen as much of has been the yards after catch, although, of course, Isaac Stinson and Aiden Ski have been huge proponents of that, and Gabe Jenkins and Lawson Burst both make their waves. 3rd and 9 with 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Here's the snap. Matheny dropping back to the 35. He's rolling out left side, trying to throw on the run. It's a great throw, caught. Dalvin Smith pushed out of bounds after a gain of 7, maybe 8. We'll see where they mark him down. It looks like he's just shy of that 1st down. It'll be a 4th and 1 into Eldon territory at the 48.
And they will be going for it. Matheny's looked very calm under pressure. Calm, cool, collected, finding space, hitting his open guys.
Big play here. Stinson on the left side. Morris in the backfield. 3 receivers on the right. Here's the snap. Matheny looking to take it up the middle himself. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, and he goes down. A sack, and it's a turnover on downs. Eldon gets the ball back. And a huge change in the way this game has gone.
Yeah, you can tell by the way the players are walking off and on the field right now. That was a very big play for Eldon. Hype.
Yes, it was, and, well, of course, Eldon 3 and 1 entering this game. Hallsville 1 and 3. ultimately, I don't think these two teams are that far apart, even though the records signify otherwise. But we're going to have to see how this one finishes up. Hallsville trying to avoid a big loss. It's been a little bit of a rough start so far. Here's the snap. Eldon handing it off, right side, trying to take it up, cutting up field and up the sideline, continuing up for a first down, and a little bit further up the sideline, as that was Andrew Beanland before he's taken down at about the 40 in Hallsville territory.
Once again, Beanland gets about 8 yards after contact right there. Not going down easy. It's going to be hard to stop if he's going to play like this all night. It does not look like he's running out of any sort of steam.
Yeah, and in previous weeks, whenever you saw one really good running back, Hallsville did a good job of kind of getting to that running back and making sure that they stopped him and didn't let him get any space. Here's the snap, handoff. Beanland running left side. Andrew Beanland trying to take it up. He's got about 9 yards, cuts back inside at the 30, and he's tackled far to the left side of that left hash.
Well,
Just
that was
shy of a first down, 2nd and 2.
Right there, another feed to Andrew Beanland. Interesting because so far this season, Eldon has been pretty split evenly. Actually, a little bit more carries have been going to Colin Brisbane, but it seems like they're going to ride the hot hand with Andrew Beanland tonight.
Yeah, no reason to go away from him as he's been great to start this one. Again, the dual running backs in the backfield for Eldon. Here's the snap. Andrew Beanland taking it again, but this time going nowhere. Hallsville getting a right back there and into the backfield. A great sack, as that was Wyatt Morris.
Wyatt Morris making plays on both sides of the ball there. Great instincts to go blow up that run. Eldon ran the ball about 4 or 5 times in a row. I think they knew what they were doing. Didn't care, wanted to try it anyways. Hallsville says no.
A great tackle by Wyatt Morris at TFL. Puts it back to a 3rd and 6. A loss of 4 on the play. 5:22 to go in the first quarter. Ooh, but a flag is on the play. We're going to see what they call here. I didn't notice that at the time.
It was after the play.
Unsportsmanlike conduct after the play on Eldon. So bring that back 15 yards from what we saw right there. We've seen a couple of times where penalties have affected the other team in these Hallsville games, and right there, that's a big change. So it'll be a 3rd down still, but rather than a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 21.
Be very interesting to see, and they have a crowded backfield, so
yeah, full house formation
looks
for
like
Eldon.
They still may run.
One receiver on the right side, though. Here's the snap. Evan Beanland, he's looking to throw. He's wrapped up in the backfield, taken down. A sack for Hallsville. They make it 4th and a mile.
And Hallsville has some life. We think about 6 guys got in the backfield right there, got straight to Beanland, no problem. Hallsville looks juiced and ready, and they're ready, and they're sending Eldon's offense off the field.
Yes, they are, and the punt formation coming out here. Well, not quite a punt formation, actually. It looks like they're lined up normally, although I expect a punt. It's 4th and 26. Here comes the punt formation. Stepping back, Evan Beanland. He punts this one high, and on the near side, it's going to bounce at the 15, back to the 5, to the 3, to the 2, to the 1. Oh, man, what a beautiful punt. A punt dot at the 1-yard line. You cannot place that any better.
Yeah, way to make up for kind of a lackluster offensive drive. Go ahead and pin them down at the 1 and make them work for it.
Well, like we saw last week, Hallsville suffered a safety thanks to another punt dot very similar to this. Now, the one last week went down to the 3-yard line before Hallsville was sacked. And actually, it wasn't a sack. It was a botched snap that Hallsville had to jump on top of and just take it rather than giving up the touchdown against Macon. So that's in their minds right now. They can't do that again. Here's the snap to Matheny. Quick throw right side, nearly intercepted. Somehow Hallsville's able to come up with it. Or did they?
That was a 50-50 ball if I've ever seen one. I think
it looks like it just dropped incomplete. Devin Hardy was right there, and it does drop incomplete.
Great play there by Hardy to just go ahead and sneak in. I think he got both hands on the ball, honestly.
Yeah, I wasn't sure necessarily who got that one. So 2nd and 10, back at the 1-yard line. Matheny dropping back, looking deep on the left side. He has Isaac Stinson, makes the catch, slides down at the 30, and what a ball, what a catch. And that is that Matheny-Stinson connection you have seen all season long. A 31-yard bomb from back at the 1-yard line brings it to a Hallsville first down.
And that duo is just getting better and better as the season moves along. The chemistry is there. Matheny knows where Stinson's going to be. He knows where Stinson wants the ball. Stinson is one of the best deep threats in this area.
So a 31-yard catch for Isaac Stinson. Now with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, Braden Matheny again letting one launch deep right side, and it's caught. Gabe Jenkins at the 30, the 20, 10, touchdown Hallsville. Gabe Jenkins into the end zone. What a play, Hallsville, from back at the 1-yard line, 2 plays, touchdown.
Elite offensive passing right there from Brandon Matheny. That deep ball is looking very strong. And Gabe Jenkins with, I think, his 3rd or 4th catch of the game already. Is this a breakout game for Gabe Jenkins? He looks like he can't be stopped.
It might just be, and the 2-point conversion about to be attempted by Hallsville here. We're going to see what they end up doing. Last game, we saw Tyson Perigo get out there and take a couple of Wildcat snaps and run it in. Those were the only 2 successful 2-point conversions. They have had a lot of troubles doing some of these more normal formations here, but we're going to see what might happen. So Matheny with Wyatt Morris, and a flag is thrown pre-snap. I assume this is going to be a false start on someone, and looks like it's against Hallsville, so drop that back 5 yards, and it's delay a game against Hallsville. I must have missed that.
A little bit of miscommunication going on out there.
Same spot as if they had done a false start, though. Ball is pushed back to the 7-yard line.
Not quite sure if they're still going to go for 2 here. It looks like it. Yeah, they are.
Yes, they will. So Wyatt Morris back in the backfield. 3 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Here's the snap to Matheny. It's a little high. He's rolling out right side, looking to get it into the end zone. 2-point conversion attempt. Back left. Caught by Stinson. Hallsville takes the lead.
Great job there by Stinson to just kind of find the open space and sit down on it. Clearly it was not the route he was supposed to run, but he found an open space. Left side of the end zone was wide open. And Matheny throwing cross field isn't something you typically see, but if it works, it works. Great 2-point conversion there. You mentioned they struggled lately. Maybe this is the start of a new era of the Hallsville 2-point conversions.
Maybe. We'll have to wait and see how that ends up working out because, yeah, right there, a nice attempt. And again, it wasn't what was expected to happen. Hallsville was likely expecting a different way that one would have ended up working out. But, hey, anything that you can get, you will take it at this point because of the way that the 2-point conversions have been going for Hallsville this season. But an 8-7 lead for Hallsville with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. Still pretty early on, but the Indians' offense getting started and ready to go.
And you mentioned those Hallsville onside kicks earlier. You think they're going to attempt one here?
I would give you a 90% chance. I'm not going to give you betting odds because somebody would take that bet. Here's the kickoff, and here's the onside kick. It was touched before the line of scrimmage by a Hallsville return man, but looks like they didn't notice that. It looked like it hit off the foot of one of Hallsville's cover team, but no flags, so the refs must not have seen it, either that or I am seeing things. And it'll be a first down for Mustangs. Nonetheless, that was what it was going to be. Eldon able to jump on that ball, and they will get started from we will see where they spot it. Maybe the refs did notice the kick ball by Hallsville.
It's an interesting strategy, though, to go for those onside kicks so frequently. It kind of ties into that bend, don't break defense that you mentioned. If they're willing to just kind of settle for like a 40-yard, like make Eldon go for a 4th down around that 35-40 range consistently, they feel like they've got the defense to do it, then go ahead and take that risk with the offsides kick. It's successful for them. I think they've got 7 recovered on the year already.
I believe it's 6 through 4 games. And yes, that is what the call was. So they noticed the same thing that I did out there, but it's declined, so it will still just be returned by Eldon, and they will jump on top of it. So first down for Eldon. They set up shop at the 43-yard line in Hallsville territory. Not too far to go. And, well, looking back on the season, I don't think I recall a time when one of those Hallsville coverage team members have actually touched the ball before it's gone the 10 yards or it's been hit by the opposing team. I think that's the first time that there's been a penalty on that. So great news for Hallsville this season as here's the snap. Andrew Beanland, no, Evan Beanland takes it left side. He's going to get to the edge, first down and more, up to the 30-yard line before he goes out of bounds. First down for the Mustangs.
And we know individually each Beanland is great at rushing the ball. But when you put them together in those read option convos, it makes it really hard for the defense to decide. You kind of have to just pick your poison and hope you guess right at this point. I mean, you can't leave either. They're both elite threats. You can't just leave one of them.
And that's what makes this offense so difficult to figure out. How do you stop that? I mean, it's difficult to figure that out. And Hallsville is going to have to do some thinking on this. They did stop it one time, although it might have been helped out a little bit by the unsportsmanlike conduct. Here's the snap. It's a handoff. Andrew Beanland, he's got space right side, cuts inside and tackled down after a gain of about 5 yards. And it'll be a 2nd and 5 for Eldon, but a flag is on the play. Holding against Eldon, so push him back 10 yards. It's actually a 1st and 20.
And these penalties are really kind of detrimenting the Mustangs offense. I mean, they're averaging about 5-6 yards a play at least, but these penalties have set them back a combined like 45 yards already.
Well, that's one of the great things about this Hallsville offense that I've noticed this season. Whenever another team commits a penalty, the Hallsville defense has done a great job of utilizing that to their advantage and making them pay for committing the penalty. So it looks like they marked the holding penalty a couple yards ahead of the line of scrimmage. It took place at the 28-yard line, so mark it 10 yards back from there. The ball is spotted at the 38. 1st and 17 coming up for Eldon. Evan Beanland with Andrew Beanland on his right. Here's the snap. Evan Beanland seeing pressure. He throws it left side. Devin trying to cut it up, and he gets a few yards on that one before he's tackled down. A nice job by Devin Hardy. A gain of 10 yards on the play. Sets up 2nd and 7.
And that almost looked like it was going to be a bit of a designed run at first, or roll out to the right. And then Beanland went a complete opposite direction and threw it back across the middle. And it worked. Hardy had blockers there with him. Nice little game.
We'll see what they do here, if they continue to stick with the running game or if they go more towards the passing side. But a timeout will be called here for the Eldon Mustangs, and that is, of course, the first timeout that they've had of the quarter. So while we have this time, Killian, I kind of want you to just give me your thoughts on this game so far. We're not quite a quarter of the way through it, but a couple of drives for each team so far.
Well, I think some of this could be stemming from the confidence of maybe last week's win over Macon, but Hallsville looks like they want it. I mean, they're coming out aggressive consistently. They're blitzing the backfield. They're putting pressure on the Beanlands. They're sending guys there. They're not just going to let them sit back and make their move. And on offense, a 2-point conversion on the first play of the game, they didn't need to go for that. There was no need for it. It was 7-0. It was 7-6. They could have just kicked and tied it up. They're out there to kill right now. They want it.
Yes, they do. And, well, you can tell that. And just by the way that they've played all season long, I mean, they know what it's like to lose close as well. I think that's staying strong in their minds right now. They don't want to lose another close game, and they're able to keep this one close so far through one quarter, though, as here's a quick snap. Evan Beanland running left, pitch left side, and Corbin trying to run this one up. Colin Brisbane, as he received the pitch. A gain of, they'll say 4 yards, brings up 3rd and 3.
And, man, Colin Brisbane looked fast out there. It looked like that was about to be a loss of 3 yards, and he bolted out right in front of 3 Hallsville defenders.
Yeah, and it was a really good job by Evan Beanland to kind of take that one left side. He seemed like he was going to cut it inside, and that, I thought it was going to juke out the Hallsville defender. I couldn't tell who it was, but it was a good tackle in order to stay on Colin Brisbane. Here's the snap. Running right side, Evan Beanland. He gets sacked in the backfield. Aiden Ski coming up big, taking him down behind the line of scrimmage. It's 4th and 11 after a loss of 8 on the play.
And there's that aggression. Hallsville sending extra guys to go put pressure on the Beanlands, make them make rash or unrational decisions, throw them off their game, don't allow them to just sit back and do what they want to. Hallsville looks aggressive, and they look pumped up. You saw Ski celebrate after that.
Yeah, and you can see Hallsville, the defense looks a little different than it did at the start of the game. They're playing the defense a little differently, and that's what you like to see. You like to see adjustments here. And Eldon needing 11 yards on the 4th down. 4th and 11. Here's the snap. Evan Beanland rolling right side. He's going to dump it off on a screen pass. Left side, Hallsville. It's a fumble, and it's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. And either way, it's Hallsville football at the 39-yard line.
And this is a new life for Hallsville football. They look ready. They are pumped. They sent more guys once again. They are just back to back to back, not letting up, sending guys whenever they want. Look at the pressure that Beanland faced on that. He was scared. He almost got sacked in the backfield. And then they sent the second half of their team that wasn't on Beanland, sent them over to the other side of the field. They are everywhere. I don't even know how they're covering this much ground.
Yeah, on that play specifically, it felt like there were 6 players blitzing the quarterback, and then it also felt like there were 3 players playing coverage on just that one guy over there on the left side. I believe that was Colin Brisbane on the reception and then the fumble. But man, oh man, what a change in momentum. Hallsville's got the ball at their own 38-yard line. They currently have a 1-point lead with 1:44 to go in the first quarter. Here's the snap. Matheny looking right side. He's going deep on the ball. It's lofted and intercepted by Eldon. He goes down with it, and the deep ball a little underthrown on there. It looked like he might have had Dalvin Smith, but instead one play, and Eldon's got it right back at their own 39-yard line.
I think Matheny knew that wasn't the best throw to make as soon as it left his hands. You saw the little hesitation. He thought about it before he threw it, kind of stutter step, pump fake, decided to let it go. Was probably not the right choice, and it kind of results in a momentum killer right there for Hallsville.
Yeah, and it seemed like it had a lot higher of an arc than you were expecting. Maybe a misrelease on the throw. Seemed like the idea was there, but not the execution. Now double running backs in the backfield. Here's the snap, a handoff right side. Brisbane trying to get it up. He stiff arms, but not able to get by a second defender as a flag is thrown on the far side of the field. And we'll figure out what that is, but it would be a gain of just 1 yard on the play to bring up a 2nd and 9, depending on the flag.
Once again, notice the ratio of Hallsville defenders to the rusher, whether it's Beanland running it, whether it's Brisby running it, whether it's Andrew Beanland running it. Hallsville is swarming the rusher every single time. It was 3-1 right there. He had no blockers with him. Hallsville is just everywhere.
Yeah, they are. And, well, we'll see what the penalty is here. I guess we won't just yet. The referee's going to discuss this in the middle of the field and making sure that they get the right call here. The flag is currently on the 40-yard line on the opposite side of the field from the camera. And they're going to talk with Eldon's head coach, Coach Nick Griffin, also in his first year for the Mustangs. And it goes against them. So move that ball back 10 yards. It looks like it was a holding call. Again, kind of on the opposite side of the field of play. I didn't see it as it was away from the ball. But it brings up a 1st and 19 instead, and penalties have really been killer for Eldon's offense so far.
If it keeps up at this rate, Eldon's going to hit triple digits in penalties in the first half. And I don't know how you expect to have a successful offense while also having that amount of penalty yards.
Yeah, you talk about the unsportsmanlike conduct, the 2 really meaningful holding calls as well, and a timeout will be called. Another one for Eldon. A minute to go in the first quarter, and they've used 2 of their timeouts already.
And Coach Nick Griffin is livid. Saw him yelling down there a little bit at some players. Miscommunications everywhere. Sloppy play with penalties. Eldon is not in a good spot right now.
Well, that's when you go back to the interception, and it's tough to have a mistake like that in a game that is so close right now, in a game where you've got to make the most of missteps and mistakes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they couldn't make the most of that.
Hallsville's been capitalizing on Eldon's mistakes. If Eldon wants to get back in the game, which they are, they're only down 1 point. But the momentum has clearly been, it feels like Hallsville's winning by a lot. So if Eldon wants to shift this momentum again, they've got to start capitalizing on Hallsville's sloppy mistakes. Hallsville's getting away with a lot of stuff too.
Yes, and Hallsville, I mean, they're playing a lot cleaner than we've seen in really the last couple of weeks. It felt like the first 2 weeks or so, Hallsville's team, they didn't have too many problems with the penalties. The last two, maybe a little more so, and this week so far it's been pretty good. Here's the snap. Andrew Beanland with it, running it far side, and he's going to be tackled after a gain of just 2 or so yards. They'll mark him down at the 32-yard line, and it's a 2nd and 17. Still in Eldon territory as just 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. Maybe one more play, and that'll do it.
And I'm not sure what exactly changed after the first drive, if it was a mental shift from Hallsville or if it was a game plan thing. They realized, they figured out what Eldon's offense was, but Eldon's rushing game is all of a sudden non-existent.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see. I got to say, I wasn't expecting this quick of a turnaround. I thought it was going to be a little more, okay, maybe you saw 8-yard, 7-yard plays. Here's the run, right side, nearly intercepted as it was off the hands of Jalen Beckman, nearly intercepted by Hallsville. It drops incomplete. 3rd and 17 coming up, and another potentially big stand for the Hallsville defense right here with 14 seconds to go in the first quarter. Clock does stop, though, on the incompletion.
Well, and it's no surprise that Jalen Beckman was the one over there. Absolute ball hawk. Already 2 interceptions on the season. Almost got his 3rd. Could have returned that one, too.
Yeah, Jalen Beckman, I mean, he's been the intended target for Evan Beanland quite a few times throughout the season. He's one of the best receivers on that team as he's got 14 receptions on the year. 3rd and 17 coming up. Empty backfield for the first time this game. Heavy pressure. Hallsville trying to get to Evan Beanland. Not able to yet. He just tosses this one up in the air, and it is incomplete. Somehow able to get that one away. And also somehow it doesn't get intercepted as it just drops into no man's land despite being tipped and fading away. It's 4th and 17, and Eldon's going to have to punt this one with 5 seconds to go.
Looked like that ball was in the air, dropping in slow motion.
Yeah.
Honestly. It was very scary situation there for Eldon.
So
and
now
that line is kind of falling apart a little bit right now.
It seems a little bit like it, but you really look at the run plays, and that has helped out a lot. And the pass protection is always going to be a big question mark here. 1 running back in the backfield, 3 receivers on the right side, and, well, here comes the step back to punt it away. Evan Beanland kicks this one up. It's a little short. We'll see where the bounce goes. It bounces at the 50, about a couple yards back to the 45-yard line as the quarter does officially end, and it is 8-7 Hallsville through 1. We're going to go ahead and take a quick step aside. When we come back, second quarter of action for you here on the Show Me Sports Network.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of the Show Me Sports Network under the broadcasting rights granted therein. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of the Show Me Sports Network. Announcers are provided by the Show Me Sports Network.
You want great benefits from your work, but you don't want a boring desk job. Then again, if you're active and working outside, your benefits are going to be awful, if you have any at all. Unless you work at Salter Lawn Service. 4-day work weeks with a full 40 hours, paid overtime, vacation, 401k, and full health insurance. Right now, Salter is looking for career-minded workers, so get started with a career you'll love and benefits you can actually brag about. Apply now at salterlawnservice.com.
Well, hello and welcome back to Hallsville Indians football coverage for you here on the Show Me Sports Network. I'm Austin Thomas, joined once again by Killian Wright as we get ready to go for the second quarter of action.
Hallsville up 1 against the Eldon Mustangs, and Matheny is going to throw first play of the game. About a 9-yard gain right there. Great catch from Gabe Jenkins, I believe. Already Hallsville offense looking a little juiced.
Like you mentioned earlier in the first quarter, Gabe Jenkins looks so good today. He hasn't really been as big of a focus in previous games. Of course, you go back to last week, and Gabe Jenkins, he did have the 10-yard touchdown against Macon and started to make his presence known a little bit more. Maybe he proved something to Coach Stevens in that game.
I think last week might have been a little bit of a sneak peek of tonight's potential Gabe Jenkins coming out party.
68-yard receiving touchdown earlier today. Whew, that was something.
Matheny in the snap. He hands it off. Wyatt Morris nearly fumbles, tripped up, I believe, by his own lineman right around the line of scrimmage. So it's about a gain of 0, maybe 1. Nearly fumbled that.
Well, I think he did fumble it. I could have sworn I saw the ball drop out, and then he just had to dive on top of it.
At least he made the play to keep possession. It would not want to have another drive end early in a turnover.
Yes, that's a big thing for Hallsville right here. You want to make sure, hey, at least get 1 first down. I think that's the big point right here. If you can get a first down, you're not going to be too disappointed in the drive, even if you don't end up with points. You're still going to feel like your offense can do something.
Hallsville now 3 receivers on the right. Matheny's going to drop back, throw it left. Stinson with a catch, and that's a first down. Isaac Stinson, great job sitting down in the open space, keeps possession of the ball. First down, Indians.
Whew, Isaac Stinson, welcome back, man. He has been a phenomenal player for Hallsville all season long. You really can't talk highly enough about him, but those out routes, you saw those a ton last game against Macon. And just having those short, quick throws by Braden Matheny, Isaac Stinson was on the receiving end of a ton of those last week. You're seeing one of the first times that's kind of happened here, at least to Stinson. You've seen a couple of seam routes throughout the game. Again, Gabe Jenkins has seen a lot of those. Aiden Ski has, of course, seen a couple of those. Now Isaac Stinson seeing his quick out routes.
Stinson lined up on the left by himself. Matheny alone in the backfield. He's going to run it, break through that initial line, break another tackle, fall forward for about a gain of 6 or 7 yards. Matheny just powered right through there.
Yeah, really good run by Braden Matheny. You know, you look at the first couple of games this season, really the first 3, and it seemed like, or I guess I should say the first 2, it seemed like he wasn't going to be utilized as a runner all too often. And, well, game 3 comes about, and against Boonville, he really started to break out using his legs a lot more. And then last game, he had another rushing touchdown. Back-to-back games with a rushing touchdown, and he's been pretty big in moving that football.
Matheny once again alone in the backfield. They're liking these empty sets, and it appears there's a flag on Eldon as Matheny was celebrating. Not quite sure what that flag is, but
it looked like Cody Brown had jumped off sides while I was talking there, and a hard count for Braden Matheny. That's a good play.
Having a good hard count as a high school quarterback is a hard thing to do. Nice little tool to have in your bag, though.
That's kind of what at least it looked like from up here. We can't 100% tell that, but that'll be a question to ask Coach Stevens after the game is over.
And we are now at 3 plays in a row of Matheny being alone in the backfield. Believe he's going to pass this one. We got Stinson on the left. He's looking, and he's there. Stinson mosses his man. Believe he's... Is he in bounds? Out of bounds. Isaac Stinson almost with a fantastic catch for about 30 yards. It's going to be brought back. Could not quite get his feet in. Almost another deep ball.
Yeah, that one is really tough for Hallsville right there. And it seemed like they had a really good opportunity for a big play. But unfortunately, it ends up just being another incompletion right there.
But the fact that he was at least looking for Stinson, I mean, we know that connection is unstoppable.
Well, I guess not.
Only beat by themselves right there. Matheny alone again. Going to go right back to him. This time Stinson catches it right on top of his man for a first down.
Well,
so didn't work one time. Go right back to him. He'll get it.
Yeah, that's the exact example of what you were trying to say on the last play. There was nothing the defender could have done right there to really stop Isaac Stinson from catching that football. The only reason that it wasn't caught deep on that play was because the sideline was there, and oh, man, that sideline, that pesky sideline.
Sideline is about the best defense you've got for Isaac Stinson. 6'3", 175, and he's fast. Great hands.
It's also worth noting that the sideline is just white, and then there's pure green grass.
Handoff now. Going to break the edge, get about 8 yards. Good pickup right there for Ski. Again, a little gadget play, using the receivers in the backfield for some rushing attacks.
Yeah, you love to see that. Aiden Ski has been really the go-to guy from those gadget plays, from those jet sweeps and the motion he's been really good at making that work, and you're continuing to see him get more and more efficient with these plays. You're seeing the floor kind of rise up on those plays for him. At the beginning of the season, you of course saw the huge touchdowns from him, but you also saw him get stopped around that line of scrimmage a few times or in the backfield. You haven't seen that this game, though.
Once again, going 5 wide now for Hallsville. Matheny's going to take the snap. Ski in the backfield again. He fakes it. Matheny takes it himself. Running, cutting up field, falls forward. Believe he gets the first down on that, about a gain of 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Another rushing play for Matheny, and he's had about 3 or 4 solid pickups this drive on the ground.
Yeah, which is really odd to me because you didn't see this basically at all in those first couple of drives. First quarter, it seemed like, okay, just air it out and, run it with Wyatt Morris a couple times and maybe do it, a couple jet sweeps. But wasn't much Braden Matheny run game. All of a sudden, it seems like that's the focus on this drive.
Yeah, they've really shied away from traditional run game. Matheny, once again by himself, could take this one for a run, and he's pointing out something to the refs. He's not happy about something going on. Play clock is down to 3. He's got to get the snap off, and he does just in the nick of time. Pass caught, fumbled. Not sure who quite got it. I believe Hallsville fell back down on it.
It looks like Dalvin Smith tried to make the completion. I don't think he had full possession of it, and it just dropped incomplete. But either way, he jumped right back on top of it, was able to keep that one. It seemed like it took him a little while. It was a wide receiver screen out there. You've seen those a few times this season where they love to dump it off to that wide receiver, and that's kind of their run game is the wide receiver screens more so than running the ball traditionally up the middle, because a lot of the times you don't see the receivers drop the ball all too often like you did right there, and a lot of times they're trying to get 6 yards on those screens or something like that.
2nd and 10, Matheny drops back around the 20. He's going to go down, sacked by Eldon. About 3 Eldon defenders swarmed and took him down, wrapped him up, and now it'll be about 3rd down in the red zone for the Indians. 3rd and 14.
Yeah, and they just barely can get a first down without it being a touchdown. The marker spotted at the 15-yard line the 5-yard line for the first down. So they can still do that. But mostly, if you're going to be getting a 15-yard chunk play, what's the difference between 15 yards and 20 yards right now? It's just the touchdown. So that's kind of what you're going up against as your Hallsville. It's almost touchdown or bust.
Well, I would say that, but knowing Hallsville, it seems like they're pretty gutsy and are willing to go for it on 4th down.
Oh, they definitely
seem very
will.
aggressive. So you really have 2 plays right here. You don't have to go big or go home quite yet. But
well, this team is not in a position to punt the football from the 20-yard line, and it just seems like they were the right idea to go for the.
Matheny's dropping back and rolling out right, sets his feet. He's going to go deep for the end zone, just over the head of Ski. Could not quite find his man. Ski had a few yards of separation, but it was a hard throw.
Well, the deep safety fell down. I believe that was Devin Hardy, and there is an injury on the field, but Devin Hardy kind of fell down trying to defend that play, left Ski a little bit more open than was initially thought. I thought that could have been a touchdown, just a little bit of miscommunication on the overthrow there.
I'm sure Matheny had to change his throw a little bit, noticing Hardy go down, having to alter it mid-motion. Still a difficult throw to make. It's not exactly like Ski was wide open.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't. That would have been a difficult play, but again, we've seen Braden Matheny make those plays throughout the season a lot of times. You don't see him miss open guys all too often. That definitely a spot where he could have fit it in, but again, just would have been a difficult spot, and looks like injury timeout here in Eldon. So, kind of looking at this point in the game, and still 7:49 to go in the second quarter, Hallsville up at this point, I think you're feeling pretty good, because this is one thing that I had talked about last week in kind of my post-game thoughts is, of course, Hallsville, they were trying to get back on the right track after starting the season really rough and ended up being, 4 games before they finally got their first win. So let's see if we can get that number of the guy on the field out there. I think that's number 30, which would be, well, they don't have a number 30. Let me double check that. We'll see if we can get that number for you. But as for Hallsville, it seemed like that Macon win could have really been a jumping off point for Hallsville. And yes, the opponents going on forward were, on paper, tougher, but that didn't mean that they couldn't keep going out there and trying to win the game. And right now, they are standing strong. If they could win this game, I think your thoughts on them become a lot different.
And this is arguably the biggest play of the game so far. 4th and 14, just outside the red zone here for Hallsville. We'll see if they can get a touchdown. Matheny's going to have to look deep. He does. He throws one up, and it's caught by Isaac Stinson. Isaac Stinson comes up big again. Amazing connection between the two dynamic seniors. Braden Matheny finds Isaac Stinson in the end zone for his 3rd touchdown in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, man, what a play out there, and Isaac Stinson just cannot be stopped. What a play, and that connection. Whoo, Hallsville is cooking right now.
That was definitely the biggest play of the game, and both of the seniors came through clutch. That is what Hallsville needs. Your 2 best players going through at the most important of the game. Stinson you can't leave him one-on-one. You just can't.
Well, it's worth noting this 2-point conversion attempt right here is for a chance to make it a 2-score game.
Matheny drops back, looking right side, and he finds his man back middle of the end zone. It's Ski. Back-to-back 2-point conversions for Hallsville, and now the score is 16-7. Indians lead the Mustangs with about 7.5 minutes left in the second quarter. And I got to say, I'm not sure we saw this coming.
I definitely didn't. I thought it was going to be a close game, and it definitely is appearing to be just that. Right now, of course, Hallsville leading it 16-7. I think the biggest surprise to me, and this is going to sound weird, but the biggest surprise to me so far has been 2 for 2 on 2-point conversion attempts. It's something that, of course, Coach Stevens had talked about wanting to improve. He talked about that in the post-game show last time around. And, well, hey, they've gone out there and they've done just that, because that's a difference between a 16-7 game and a 12-7 game right now. And, of course, the Hallsville offense, I don't think that was a question to me, but the defense, they're finally doing some good stuff out there. They've, of course, done some good stuff early in the season, but it hadn't really been showing up on the scoreboard. Right now, it's just 7 points allowed through one quarter. You go back over the last game, they've allowed just 3 touchdowns over the last 5 and so quarters.
And I'd like to know the exact yardage after that first drive when the Mustangs scored. I'm not sure they've gained 30, 40 total yards.
Yeah, I think you might be right on that.
And there's the return. Almost broke free. Mustangs almost with a little bit of spark right there. Return gets about to the 45. Solid right there. They're going to have another drive starting with good field position. We'll see if they can capitalize on it. They've had a little bit of trouble, obviously, capitalizing throughout this second quarter and the back half of the first quarter.
That was Andrew Beanland on the return right there. I mean, you just see the shiftiness from him and the ability to just stay on his feet. I think the balance, to me, is the most impressive thing that I've seen from Andrew Beanland. He doesn't go down. He can kind of tiptoe that line, and whenever he's knocked off balance, he's able to get right back on balance. That's what makes his stiff arm a little bit more effective.
And Beanland is joining the backfield. Right now, handoff to Andrew Beanland. He's immediately found by Hallsville defenders and somehow breaks loose. Helmet is off, and Andrew Beanland just ran right through 5 Hallsville defenders. Was almost stopped at the 1-yard line, decided he didn't care, and plowed right on through. And this crowd is rocking right now. Andrew Beanland, perhaps with the spark that the Mustangs needed to spark a comeback.
That is something I haven't seen in a long time.
That was an angry run if I've ever seen
That
one.
is a football player out there, Andrew Beanland. He comes off to the sideline because once your helmet comes off, you have to do that. I believe there's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct or an unnecessary roughness penalty issued against Hallsville on this. That's what it looked like. A flag did come off when his helmet came off. I thought for sure he was down. There were 3 Hallsville defenders on him, 3 of them that each were able to get a clean hand to try and bring him to the ground. And like I said, that balance out there, keeping him on his feet, somehow not able to go down. And I thought the play was dead, but they did not call it dead, and he just kept on running.
He was nearly stopped in his tracks. I think a Hallsville defender had both arms on one of his legs, and with his one free limb, he decides to just jump right through. No helmet, drags 3 guys with him, finds 3 more guys 10 yards later down the field, and decides he's going to fall forward through them, too, for an additional gain of 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, and I do wonder a little bit for the Hallsville defenders. Are you worried at all? You know, whenever you see a player with their helmet off, I'd be worried if I was a Hallsville defender out there. I don't want to hit his head. And that's gonna be, I believe, something that they're talking about right now. Should the play have been blown dead and then issue the penalty from that point on? Because I believe that the penalty, from what I saw out there, I thought the play was going to be blown dead around there. And yes, it is a penalty what Hallsville did to take the helmet off, although the play shouldn't have continued, but it did continue. And so I think the question is going to be more so, do they want to take it from that spot, or do they want to take it back from where the penalty occurred? And that's what they're discussing at this point.
Well, it's kind of a gray area, but it's hard to tell because while his helmet came off, it was very clear that the Hallsville players didn't just stop playing. They were still actively trying to tackle Beanland. So that's where it makes it even a little harder of a choice.
Well, you got to play until you hear the whistle, and no whistle was blown at that point, and here it comes.
And you've got to hope if you're Hallsville that, if you're the Hallsville coaching staff, that Andrew Beanland didn't just put the fear of God in you. And I believe they called it face mask.
Yeah, face mask coming out there. And so 15 yards against Hallsville. And I believe that they are going to spot this from back where it would have been. It looks like they're going to mark him down where the defenders actually got around him. So the run after that, where he had his helmet off, did not count. And that's what I was wondering about. So they do take it back from there, and it goes 15 yards from that spot, which is up at the 39.
And I think that's the right call. While it would have been amazing and fun to let that go out, it did seem like Hallsville kind of had him wrapped up in a bit of forward progress. He was very stagnant there for about 2 seconds. So it's kind of hard not to blow that dead, but unfortunate.
Definitely unfortunate there, but Eldon's got a good shot here, but maybe a little bit too long in between plays for them to keep that momentum.
Evan Beanland will take the snap with Brisbane joining him in the backfield. And he's going to fake the handoff to the receiver, taking himself. Evan Beanland going about 20 yards gained. And he's going to fall forward for an Eldon first down. Great read option right there. Both offenses using a lot of dynamic rushes from their quarterbacks.
Yeah, and again, you've been continuing to see Eldon trying to spice it up, but it really hasn't worked for them until just then. It had been a long time since you'd seen a big run, and Andrew Beanland showing, or Evan Beanland showing why that's going to happen, why they're able to continue running that ball.
And now Andrew Beanland will retake the field and join Evan Beanland in the backfield along with Colin Brisbane. So 3 Eldon Mustangs in the backfield. He's going to hand off to Andrew Beanland, who spins around, jukes around Evan Beanland, is all over the field, has ran about 20 yards already. Looks like there's a flag on the play as Beanland is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Not too sure who the flag is on, but we'll find out here soon.
And it looks like the flag was thrown. The flag is right now on about the 13-yard line, well on the far side of the field, so it doesn't seem like it was directly involved with the play. It seemed to me like it could have been a holding call, but I don't know for certain if that's where it's going to be just based on the placement of the flag. It might be something else, like a face mask or
some sort of illegal blocking,
sort of
maybe.
Like
yeah, you're right. It was definitely away from the play. However, the play did go all over the field, so at some point, Andrew Beanland was very much on the right side before deciding to go back around and loop around the entire offensive and defensive line, even around his own quarterback. The play was all over the place, so the flag very well could have been a part of the play.
Yeah, it very well could have. So let's hold off on our speculation here and just look at, what happened right now. And looking at the game, 6:30 to go in the second quarter. I feel like this last minute has taken longer than any other minute of the second quarter I've ever seen before. A lot of stoppage here, a lot of referee deliberation to make sure that they've got the right call out there. And that's important to have at this point in the game. You want to make sure that you're getting every call right. But as for Hallsville's defense, they just got to make sure that they're getting around the offense and making sure that they're stopping that run game. You almost are certain that the run game is going to happen, or if it's not the run game, you're expecting a short-range pass. You're not expecting any deep plays. You haven't seen Evan Beanland really unleash the cannon yet.
Yeah, and I think that's why Hallsville's been able to get so much pressure up front and consistently send so many people to the running back, to the quarterback, is because they don't really have to worry about that deep threat. It's just not really a part of the Mustangs offense.
So it looks like there was a offsetting penalties on that one, and so it'll just be a first down.
And so Evan Beanland will be joined in the backfield by Andrew Beanland and Colin Brisby once again. 2 receivers out wide, tight end on the line. Receiver comes in motion, Fake snap, handed off to Andrew Beanland. Making his move, jukes right. Stumbles forward for about a 4-yard gain right there. Andrew Beanland once again swarmed by Hallsville defenders, but not before the gain.
Yeah, and very patient out there. He's been really good at kind of waiting for something to develop. It didn't really seem like he got anything to develop on there, but he gave it the opportunity to breathe, and he didn't lose anything by waiting the amount that he did. He didn't wait too long, but he also didn't wait nothing at all.
He's been very good at using the blockers he has in the correct positions. This time, however, Evan Beanland waiting to take the snap. 3 receivers out wide, motioning, fakes it, takes it himself. Beanland runs up the gut. First down, he's brought down by about 5 Hallsville defenders. Not sure how he didn't fumble that. Great job to hold on to it by Evan Beanland and pick up a first down for his team once again.
Whew. That's just another great run out there, and you see that from both Beanlands. I mean, they have just continued to really push through contact, and that's the difference right now. If Hallsville's able to take him down immediately once they get to the runner, then I think you're looking at a completely different game right now, because a lot of this has been a run after contact.
And the Mustangs now in their first red zone trip since their very first drive. Beanland takes the direct snap. Evan Beanland runs it in. He's going to fall forward into the end zone. Touchdown, Evan Beanland gets the Mustangs back in the game. Great rushing game overall. Evan Beanland with about 40 yards rushing on that drive. Put the team on his back.
Yeah, he did. Second touchdown of the game, and that's the way that this offense has been going. It has been those runs, and Evan Beanland versus Andrew Beanland, who's going to get more carries, and it doesn't really matter as long as you're able to put up points on the board.
And the score is now 16-13, Hallsville lead, as the Mustangs will take a direct snap. Andrew Beanland tries to push forward in the end zone. Do not think he quite got there. Fell short just less than a yard. Took the direct snap, almost powered through. Could not quite get it. So with 4:58 left in the second quarter, the Hallsville Indians will keep their 3-point lead over the Mustangs as they lead 16-13.
Yeah, big time right there to make sure that they didn't let that get any closer. Now, one thing that you have seen has been field goals attempted by the Mustangs. Well, not field goals, a field goal. You've seen them kick it before. They're 0 for 1, but they have shown the ability to do that. They've got a kicker out there who can do it in Devin Hardy. So you might see them attempt, trying to tie it up with the 3 points. It is a 3-point game right now, being 16-13, and, well, that could be something to watch for as we get, of course, later in the game.
It definitely could be something to watch for the Mustangs. For Hallsville, even though they might have the kicker to do it, I don't think they care. I think it seems like Hallsville is going to be going for it every shot they get.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that to me as well, and well, I haven't seen anything to prove why they shouldn't.
And as far as Eldon, while they do have the kicker, they are also 44% on 4th down conversions on the season. Not quite sure they have too much reason to kick it.
Well, I'm interested to see how the Hallsville return team is going to work here. Of course, Gabe Jenkins, both of them have been kicked to him so far. He returned one fairly well, and the other one, well, he fumbled it out the sidelines.
That was also, onside kick there. Tried to pull a fast one on Hallsville. Give him a taste of their own medicine. Didn't work, as Hallsville is very familiar with those onside kicks. Picked it up, no problem.
That's a good job by Jack Stockamp to be able to jump on that one. He was ready to go, even though a lot of times you're seeing those Hallsville front line kind of get ready to block. He was ready to go and jump on that one, even though it got to him incredibly quickly. It was a good play by Stockamp.
Definitely gave Hallsville some easy field position right here. Hallsville's going to be starting their drive right here around the 46-yard line.
Yeah, and that's a good spot to start, but you've got to make sure that you keep that offense rolling along. Don't stall out. You got to keep momentum alive.
Matheny going to hit his receiver out wide as Gabe Jenkins once again. Flag on the play, maybe a towel. Jenkins picks up a first regardless, and we're going to see what this flag is called.
Yeah, the flag landed back around the 47-yard line or so. I expect it's going to be a holding call, so I think that's going to be coming back.
Once again, though, Gabe Jenkins staying very involved in the offense, looking like he's the number one option for this game specifically, perhaps due to the attention drawn to Stinson. But Gabe Jenkins, about 7 or 8 touches on the game, if you count that one.
Well,
obviously called
it's
back,
also interesting to me that it's him and rather than Aiden Ski, because a lot of these games, whenever Isaac Stinson's getting double-teamed, Aiden Ski has stepped up and kind of been the go-to guy. But this game, it's been really Gabe Jenkins.
Hallsville now with about 4:49 remaining. See if they can put together a scoring drive to end the first half and perhaps get their lead back up to 2 possessions. Matheny will take the snap, joined in the backfield by his running back. Bit of confusing going on, looking at the sideline, trying to get some direction from his coaching staff. Maybe an audible. 3 receivers out wide on the right, Stinson by himself on the left. Matheny drops back, and he's looking deep, looking for Stinson on the comeback route, gets it, and Stinson moves the sticks right up about to the first down line. Not too sure if he got it, but it's real close if he didn't.
Yeah, it looks like he's just short of it, but hey, it was first down anyways because of the holding penalty, and even though it was only a 4-yard holding penalty, you know, you were hoping for a little bit more, but you know what, you're fine with that because it sets up a 2nd and short, which really opens up the playbook because you know you're going to go for it on 3rd, you know you're going to go for it on 4th. So really, this second down going to be utilized for, yeah, maybe you could just check it down and see what you can get on a screen pass. Maybe you go for a mid-range pass somewhere over the middle, or maybe it's closer to the numbers on an out route. But I think more than likely you use this one for a deep play, or it looks like they're going to move the chains.
I was going to agree with you, but at the same time, they brought out the brooding Wyatt Morris in the backfield, all 190 pounds of him. But looks like they're just going to stick to the normal offense, probably throw in deep here. The Stinson by himself on the left side. Matheny looks right instead, hits his man. Ski breaks a tackle, keeps going, reaches down, and gets a solid pickup there. Might move the sticks for a first once again. If not, it's about 8 or 9 yards.
Yeah, looks like they're going to mark him down past that marker. And a great play by Aiden Ski. There was some good blocking up there, but there's only so much that you could do prior to the ball being touched. And so you didn't want to get that, the illegal contact, the offensive pass interference penalty. So it's a good job. I believe that was Isaac Stinson that was out there. I don't recall exactly who it was, but somebody out there caused a little bit of discomfort and disorganization from the Eldon defender, allowing Ski to be able to kind of put on those juke moves and work his way up.
Matheny takes the snap and hands off to Gabe Jenkins in the backfield, who runs left down the field and is brought down right at the line of scrimmage by the Mustangs. About 2 or 3 Mustang defenders took him down before he could get any positive yardage.
Well, it's interesting to see Gabe Jenkins used on that. We've seen him a couple times on the gadget plays, although, again, normally it's Aiden Ski that we're seeing. And that one not quite working out for Jenkins, trying to get around there, but, again, not quite able to get it.
Have not seen much action so far from Lawson Burks, but, as you mentioned, both Ski and Gabe Jenkins have been very involved in the rushing attack.
See if that changes it all here, or what the plan is on 2nd and 11.
Matheny joined by Morris in the backfield. Morris going to block for him. Matheny looks right, is going to hit his man. There's Burks, gets the catch, breaks a few tackles, keeps on going, and it finally takes about 4 Hallsville or Mustang defenders to take him down. Excuse me, that was not Burks. That was the running back, Dalvin Smith, lined up out wide for the catch right there.
Well, Dalvin Smith, of course, the athlete type. We see him kind of playing both that running back and wide receiver position a lot throughout the night. Dalvin Smith, it's basically whenever you don't see Wyatt Morris in the backfield, it's probably Dalvin Smith. But he's been lined up out at that slot receiver spot a lot this game.
And Hallsville is creeping up on the red zone as the 2-minute warning creeps up itself. Looks like they're not going to get the snap off before it. Probably trying to hard count. Oh, they do get it off. Wyatt Morris running downfield, bulldozing, and he's going to go ahead and pick up the first down for Hallsville.
Yeah, and a really good run right there and good plays for Hallsville. They just keep working that one up the field. And, hey, I love the look of this drive right now. It seemed like there was a couple times that maybe things weren't going to go their direction, but it seems like every time that something goes against them, they're able to build right back on it and take that away the next play.
They've done a really good job at fighting through adversity this game, which is something that's really hard at the high school level. It's really easy to get in your own head and kind of fall apart when the mistakes start occurring.
Yes, it
Hallsville
is.
has strayed very mentally strong today, not letting their mistakes affect them too much. Matheny now is still joined by Morris in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to him again. Morris runs into the crowd, and it looks like he's pushed back for about a 1 or 2 yard gain, if that.
Yeah, not great right there. But again, you're okay with that on first down. Although pushing this far into the red zone, you're hoping to just keep moving closer and closer to that goal line so that you can make it a little more manageable. But at this point, you really feel like, I mean, we've seen it already. You saw, of course, the 19-yard touchdown to Isaac Stinson earlier in the second quarter. You know that Braden Matheny can make it one play into the end zone.
And they're going to look for him again here. He is lined up one-on-one on the left side. Matheny looks at right, actually, hits Dalvin Smith for the gain, puts them right about at the 10-yard line as the clock is winding down. 30 seconds left in the half. Hallsville's got to hurry up a little bit.
Hallsville's still 3 timeouts, though, so I feel like they kind of wanted to use the clock intentionally right there, and as you see, they just called a timeout. But with 3 timeouts left, that's what you love to see. You know, you love to have the ball at the end of the half when you've got a lot of timeouts left. And Hallsville has used a lot of those timeouts early in the quarters in previous games as well. Coach Stevens not really needing to use that at all, and so he's got that extra flexibility to use the timeouts here and really take his time. You don't have to even worry about going to the sideline right in this position. At third down right here, even if you don't get the first down right here, then you have a maximum of, say, 5 or so plays left. On half of those, you can be thrown over the middle, and you're not even worried about it.
Yeah, and with as good as Brandon Matheny has actually been on the ground this game, it would not surprise me if they try and maybe go for some design, run some read options with him and Dalvin Smith, along with, of course, the outside throws to Isaac Stinson.
Yeah, and again, really nothing is written off at this point. You can't cross any play off for Hallsville with the situation that they're in with 2 timeouts. Only 25 seconds left, but with how close they are to the end zone, you're not really, again, writing anything off.
Only have to pick up about 10 yards right here. Not too hard to deal with, and a score here would put them up 2 possessions. So very crucial red zone trip for the Indians. Matheny almost got the Mustangs a jump. He's going to drop back, look left, hit his man. It's Gabe Jenkins, makes the guy miss. Gabe Jenkins, touchdown. Breaks the plane and puts the Indians up 2 possessions. Great find there by Braden Matheny, and great job sitting down in space for Gabe Jenkins.
Oh, yeah, Gabe Jenkins. This is his night right now. Another touchdown for him. He's got 2 on the game, and you just love the way this Hallsville offense has been looking.
And Gabe Jenkins, one of the few, he's the youngest out of the starting receiving corps, but he's looking like he might be able to take on a bigger role. Certainly proving it tonight.
And you love to see that from the young guys, too. Whenever you can see a young player like that really take that next step up, it really imbues confidence in this team going forward.
And now the Indians lead the Mustangs 22-13. Calling a timeout, looking like they're going to mull over what they want to do for this 2-point conversion. Assuming they go for it again, if they convert, it would put them up 11, 24-13.
Yeah, that'd be a big difference right here. And you just, if you can get another 2-point conversion to go your way, you feel so much better about the way that you can run that. You feel like you have confidence because Eldon is not a bad defense. They aren't by any standards. Hallsville's offense is just looking phenomenal right now. And yes, you've had previous games where, the regular offense has looked well, but the 2-point conversions haven't. If you can do that and keep getting these 2-point conversions, that's basically a whole extra touchdown that you've added in 6 points.
Agreed. Going up 11 points versus 10 is a big difference. It's going to force the Mustangs to need 2 touchdowns to retake that lead. And they will be going for it again. Matheny joined in the backfield by Morris. 4 receivers out wide. We'll see which one he looks to. Takes a snap, scanning his field. He's going to hit Stinson on the left. Stinson comes down to the catch. 2-point conversion once again. That Stinson-Matheny connection is unstoppable.
Whew. Yes, it is. Man, oh man, just great stuff out there. And if you've got a guy that you want to go to, it's Isaac Stinson. He can make just enough separation for him to catch it. And as long as he's got any inch of separation on him, he's going to be able to make that catch. 9 out of 10 times, he's going to come down with the ball over the defender, unless you see once in a while you see those mistakes. But overall, again, he has been so good at making those through contact catches and really being that go-to guy for Hallsville, even though the opposing team knows that he's going to be that go-to guy.
And Hallsville is now on the verge, don't want to call it too early, but they're on the verge of putting together 2 back-to-back really impressive wins. It's only halftime, but Hallsville already up double digits. This could be the start of the turnaround for their season.
Well, I don't know if I want to say back-to-back wins just yet because, well, we've seen how things go. Hallsville has looked good heading into halftime before, although, of course, being up at halftime, that's a different story, but they've been able to keep games close and look good entering the locker room. And sometimes those games haven't gone right.
Getting ready to kick off now. Andrew Beeland will be the returner, as they're going to go for an onside kick. Almost recovered it, actually. But the Mustangs fall on it and secure possession right around the 50-yard line. And so they will have 20 seconds to see if they can get a last-ditch effort touchdown in this first half.
And Riker Haynes, he's been great at those onsides kick all season long. Tonight, however, it seems like he's not quite hitting the same spot on the football. It seems like they're going a little bit shorter. They're not quite making it as quickly to that line to gain to allow the Hallsville offense to jump on top of it. And so it's kind of a double-edged sword where it's like, okay, it's an onside kick. You're probably not going to get it anyway. But from what we've seen from Riker Haynes and the fact that they do it every play, you may be hoping for a little bit better kicks here and there. But, again, still a great season so far for Haynes. He kind of just are kind of waiting and seeing if he can have another good one come up later in this game and give Hallsville an attempt.
Regardless, for this scenario specifically, I'm not sure it's too big of a deal, as the Mustangs are still going to have to go about 46, 47 yards into the end zone to get any sort of points, assuming they don't kick a field goal, and they only have about 20 seconds to do it.
They do have one timeout as well.
We have both Beanlands in the backfield. Receiver in motion. Evan Beanland takes the snap, looking downfield. He's going to haul one deep right to 4 Hallsville defenders, and it's intercepted by Jalen Beckman right in the hands. Not quite sure what Evan Beanland was seeing right there, but it fell right into the hands of Devin Hardy, not Jalen Beckman.
Yeah, and you just look at that Hallsville team that's out there, and that pressure on the defensive line, that is what caused the off throw from Evan Beanland in the quarterback spot right there. And it seemed like I think he was targeting Jalen Beckman on that throw, but really just a great job by Hallsville to be able to get around that and keep the momentum in their favor. Heck, you never know. We've seen some of these last-second touchdowns before. I believe we saw one early in this season, although I know for a fact we saw one last year. We'll see if Braden Matheny can do it again.
And we know who he's going to be looking for, and they're actually going to hand it off. Instead, Ski go ahead and pick up a first down, gets out of bounds with about 3 seconds left, so it gives them a slightly more realistic chance at a potential Hail Mary here, making it about a 50-yard throw rather than a 65.
Yeah, this is a ways to go. I don't know if he's got the arm strength to do this. Braden Matheny, of course, a great quarterback out there, but this is a tough throw to make. And we'll see, maybe they just go, see how quickly can you get down on this. They do have one timeout left, but I think more than likely they're just going to air it out right now.
Maybe we'll see some trickery, a little hook and ladder action. You never know. Matheny is going to throw. It looks like they're going to go for some laterals. Gabe Jenkins catches it, runs up the field, looked for a guy, but couldn't quite find any extra juice. The Mustangs wrap him down at about the 35-yard line, stopping any score from happening. And the Indians will lead the Mustangs 24-13 at the end of the first half.
Yeah, and I think on that last reception right there, I just hit my first half parlay with receiving yards for Gabe Jenkins. No, I'm kidding. But yes, ultimately a great first half for Hallsville as they lead by 11 entering the locker room. We're going to have a little bit more for you on the halftime report, so make sure don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with that in a couple of minutes here with the Hallsville halftime show for Hallsville Indians football on the Show Me Sports Network.
Are you in the market to buy your first home? Maybe it's time to buy some acreage. How about invest in a new space for your growing business? No matter the need, your trusted partner in real estate is me, Izzy Smith of Izzy Smith Homes, Remax Moon Realty. I believe real estate is more than just bricks and mortar. It's the cornerstone of our lives. It's where memories are made and dreams are realized. Choosing me as your realtor, you're getting a professional, dedicated advocate who will work tirelessly to make your real estate dreams a reality. Give me a call today at 573-876-2873 or visit izzysmithhomes.com. Izzy Smith Homes, Remax Moon Realty, your hometown realtor working harder for you.
Last Sentinel Firearms is your federally licensed and registered Type 7 FFL manufacturer dealer in Missouri, providing quality products to all types of sports enthusiasts, law enforcement, and individuals across the nation. Orders are currently being fulfilled, offering custom-built pistols and rifles from the AR platform made right here in Missouri. Visit their website at lastsentinelfirearms.com or call them at 417-684-7202 to find out what they've got for you. Last Sentinel Firearms, you are your last line of defense.
Hi, I'm retired Army Sergeant Trent Dirks, and I want to tell you about an organization that saved and changed my life forever. Retrieving Freedom provides highly trained service dogs to veterans with disabilities and children with autism, absolutely free of charge, thanks to the generous donations and support from people just like you. Experts from Retrieving Freedom help throughout the entire process, from fostering programs through service dog placement. Retrieving Freedom gave me the skilled service dog Tracer, who has been my best friend and my lifeline. To find out more about how you can get involved, volunteer, foster, or to donate, visit their website, retrievingfreedom.org. Retrieving Freedom, changing lives through the training and placement of service dogs for veterans with disabilities and children with autism.
Running out of some of your favorite Avon products and haven't seen an Avon brochure in quite some time? No need to worry. Avon Independent Sales Representative Michelle Carty can help with your Skin So Soft makeup, jewelry, fragrance, and skincare needs. Avon now carries cleaning supplies, clothing, daily essentials, and several small LG electronic items. You now have the opportunity to shop online 24/7 and have your order shipped directly to your front door by shopping with Michelle at mcarty.avonrepresentative.com or find her on Facebook by searching Avon Carty.
The Boone County Journal is the hometown newspaper of Ashland and Hartsburg since 1969. We know you're busy. Let us keep up with Southern Boone happenings for you. We cover social events, school sports, local government, Southern Boone history, obituaries, and more. Subscribe to the Journal today and get the paper delivered to your mailbox every Wednesday. Digital version also available. Call 573-657-2334 or visit bocojo.com. Independent and veteran owned.
At the Tin Roof Monogram and Gift, we know a gift is more than a box or a bag with a pretty bow. A gift is the lifetime of love that you share. It's friends who grow as close as family. It's moments and milestones, both big and small. Whether receiving or giving, a gift brings joy and happiness. That's why, since 2018, we've made it easier to gift for those you love. Stop by the Tin Roof Monogram and Gift at 108 Corporate Lake Drive in Columbia or call 573-443-4438. Let us help you find that perfect gift for every occasion.
Seeking to express your unique style? How about healthier, clear skin? Look no further than Mary Kay. For more than 60 years, Mary Kay has been offering a wide range of high-quality makeup and skincare products that empower you to shine and stand out in any setting. From luscious lipsticks to vibrant eyeshadows, flawless foundations to glowing highlights, moisturizing serum to blemish and acne regimens, Mary Kay's got you covered. If you don't have a Mary Kay beauty consultant, then I've got you covered. To get your best skin, call me, Cassandra Gazway, today at 417-684-2667 or visit online at marykay.com/Cassandra Gazway.
At Centurion Cares, for more than 3 decades, their focus has been on exceeding customer expectations for contact center software solutions. Their innovative communication solutions include utility interactive voice response software that allows for smart communication features that let your utility deliver superior customer service 24/7. They also provide other streamlined services like automatic call distribution, automated customer callback, reporting, and quality assurance. To find out more about how Centurion Cares can help your business, call them at 727-421-5300 or look them up online at centurioncares.com. Centurion Cares, innovative communication solutions.
There's no better way to celebrate a special event or show someone just how important they are to you than gifting them something handcrafted from Country with a Heart. Handmade in mid-Missouri, Country with a Heart specializes in hand-built woodworking projects for every occasion. Their design collection includes children's furniture, doll furniture, household items, holiday decor, outdoor decorations, custom projects, and everything in between. To view their full inventory of projects, visit countrywithaheart.com and find them on Facebook by joining the Country with a Heart group page.
The following public service announcement is brought to you by the Eddie Gaedel Society, Jefferson City Chapter 10, doing little things to make a big difference.
Want to make a big difference in your community? Be kind to others, drive safely, and put litter in its proper place.
Join us in celebrating Eddie Gaedel's historic Major League appearance as a member of the St. Louis Browns by doing something nice for someone today.
Take a walk, Eddie.
At Southern Boone School District, our educators do more than just teach. Lives are being shaped for the future before they even enter a classroom. For students to succeed, it takes an entire district-wide team. Our students need you. Join Southern Boone School District's team today, now offering competitive salaries and benefits for all positions. Visit ashland.k12.mo.us and click on the Employment tab.
Hello and welcome back into the broadcast booth here from Eldon, Missouri. I'm Austin Thomas. To my right side, that's Killian Wright. And, well, a good first half for Hallsville has them up 24-13, as I'll go ahead and throw the scoreboard on here for you. Or maybe I will not, because I don't currently have it loaded on here. So give me 1 second as we do a little bit of engineering live on the broadcast. Well, there we go now. Now you've got your scoreboard there, and just to make sure that you've got it. But, man, 24-13 at halftime. Hallsville currently up, and, man, they've looked pretty good out there.
They look very good. Aside from the first drive, stuff was looking a little spooky for Hallsville at first. Eldon kind of marched down the field. Hallsville had a very stagnant first drive, and then after that, it just completely flip-flopped. Hallsville was putting together multiple drives. Gabe Jenkins, best night of his season so far, maybe of his career.
Probably of his career.
Yeah. Braden Matheny making throws that, like, that's what you need out of an elite quarterback at high school level. He's playing about as good as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, Braden Matheny, you cannot fault him for anything tonight, except, well, okay, to be fair, that one interception was a little rough on him.
You can't fault him except for his fault. It's okay.
except for the one. Yeah. But, hey, you know what? I'm going to say that you can write that off because he's played so well outside of that one throw that he ended up making. You look back at the game, and 3 passing touchdowns for Braden Matheny in just the first half to 1 interception. I think my fantasy league is looking pretty good for high school sports. I definitely take Braden Matheny over probably any other quarterback in the Tri-County Conference. That's my boy out there. Give me Braden Matheny.
That Matheny Jenkins stack, and then throwing Stinson at your flex. I mean, I don't know, man.
Stinson's wide receiver 1. Nah, dude, I picked up Gabe Jenkins off of waivers this week.
Yeah.
And that was the best pickup I've ever had.
Steal of the season.
Steal of the season right there. Gabe Jenkins. What a half. Let's talk about that a little bit. He, of course, really started off just getting receptions. It wasn't necessarily any big plays, but he was just constantly utilized in this Stevens offense out there and just continuing to get looks from Braden Matheny. And then, of course, he had the huge 68-yard touchdown that tied the game up. Well, not tied it up. It actually gave the lead to Hallsville 8-7 after the 2-point conversion was successful. But 68 yards to the house, and that was off the heels of the 31-yard reception that Isaac Stinson had earlier in the drive. Just really a great half for Gabe Jenkins. And then, of course, later in the half, right there near the end, with just about 20 seconds left, Jenkins with the 10-yard receiving touchdown.
Well, what's been the most impressive part about it, for Gabe Jenkins specifically, is the variety of catches he's had.
Yes.
Gabe Jenkins, he has that 68-yard downfield vertical pass or touchdown catch. But at the same time, he's done a great job of finding some open space in that, like, 12 to 13-yard route range. He's had a couple handoffs that he's taken and gained some positive yards out of it. He's had times when he comes back on a little curl route or a hitch, and he catches it and makes the guy miss and gets some 8 or 9 yak yards. He's done about everything he can possibly do. I don't think he's dropped a pass yet, and this is all even almost more impressive because the very first play of the game was Gabe Jenkins fumbling the kickoff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that
Stayed
might
very
have sparked
mentally
him a
strong.
little bit. Yeah. I don't know. I would be interested to see, what does he say? What does Jenkins say about how this game has kind of gone for him? Because, that first play, it's like, ugh, this might not be a great game for him. And then all of a sudden, I mean, where did this even come from? He's just looking phenomenal out there, and only so much that you can say about the game that he's had out there. But, of course, Isaac Stinson, we talk about him so much that I don't really want to talk about him. But he's just that good. He, of course, had the 19-yard receiving touchdown. He's had the big plays out there that have given Hallsville first downs and continued to keep drives alive and push the team down the field. I mean, what have you just seen from Isaac Stinson as well?
I mean, you kind of said it all. He doesn't do any wrong. I mean, he attracts so much attention from the Eldon defense, and at the same time, it doesn't matter. The attention he brings leaves so much more open space for guys like Ski to work, guys who are good off the yak, navigating an open space. But at the same time, Stinson can just catch it right over 2 guys anyways. It's not like he's taken it out of the game when he's bracketed. He's right there. He can just jump right over someone. He's got hops. He's got speed. He's 6'3". He's got the height, and he's got the hands. Also, haven't seen him drop a pass. That hasn't been an issue for any Hallsville receivers, actually. I don't think anyone has really dropped a pass. So, overall, good performance on their offense. But, yeah, Isaac Stinson, on the outside right there, they line him up on the left every single play. They know what's coming. Eldon knows what's coming. You just still can't stop it.
And that's just what makes Isaac Stinson in this Hallsville offense just so good out there. They don't even have to run the ball. They just know that they're going to be able to work the ball down the field every single time. Let's go ahead and take a look back at the scoring summary of the game so far. Of course, it started off with 8 minutes and 53 to go in the first quarter. Eldon scoring first, and it seemed like it might be a little bit of a long game for them as Evan Beanland took in a 5-yard rushing touchdown, and then the PAT was good for the Mustangs, made it 7-0. From there, Hallsville, again, wasn't able to get anything going on offense. They gave it back up to Eldon, but the Hallsville defense from that point on, they really made it count. They stopped Eldon on the 4th possession of the game for both teams, and on the 5th possession, it was Hallsville's turn, and what happened? Well, it was finally that big play for Gabe Jenkins, and it was after, of course, a punt dot from Evan Beanland. The first punt of the game, the first time that Eldon didn't get the touchdown, it was a beautiful punt, ended up on the 1-yard line. But a 31-yard receiving play by Isaac Stinson, followed by the 68-yard receiving touchdown for Gabe Jenkins, allowed Hallsville to get on the board, and then they took the lead 8-7 after Stinson had the 2-point conversion thrown his way. That was followed up later in the second quarter, near the beginning of that second quarter. Hallsville's Isaac Stinson again came up big. He had a 19-yard receiving touchdown on the left side of that end zone, and then Ski had the reception on the 2-point conversion attempt, made it 16-7. Hallsville was up 2 possessions despite just scoring 2 touchdowns and 1 touchdown already going to Eldon. But Eldon did come back. They scored their own touchdown. They tried going for 2. It was not good. The touchdown, of course, coming from Evan Beanland on the 10-yard rushing touchdown. That was with 4:58 to go in the second quarter. It was 16-13 after that, and Hallsville closed out that second quarter with the 19 seconds left. Gabe Jenkins, the 10-yard receiving touchdown, 24-13 the score, and that's where it sits at halftime right now. The scoring summary for you, and again, we already kind of broke down the offense. I want to go over to the defensive side where really it felt like that first drive, it was rough, but from that point on, really locked it down.
Well, we talked about it during the game, obviously, but the pressure that Hallsville is getting is ridiculous. I mean, this is a very veteran group of an offensive line that the Mustangs have. It's senior, 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 junior. And it doesn't matter. This experienced group that has clearly had success in the past is just kind of overwhelmed by the Hallsville defense in general. Hallsville is sending multiple guys. It's not just a 3-man rush. They're sending 5-6 guys consistently. They've even had a few where they've sent 7. But at the same time, you got to somehow figure this out if you're Eldon, because this Hallsville defense is kind of scaring Eldon almost. I came into the game thinking it would be the other way around. Eldon kind of putting some fear in Hallsville, given they're a bigger, kind of more brooding, traditional team. But Hallsville's really stepped up on the physicality. Andrew Beanland is not an easy guy to take down, and we've seen it. But the amount of tackles that Andrew Beanland breaks, it hasn't really phased Hallsville. It's a team collective effort. It's not just one guy. They'll send 2-3 guys to wrap up Beanland, and it works consistently. They've kind of outmatched Eldon physically.
Yeah, and looking at this Hallsville defense and going into previous weeks, there's nothing in the box score that stands out to you. Nothing in the box score. But that's not how the game is played. The game ain't played by going in and writing down, we won. It's played by going out there and playing football, and that's what Hallsville does so well. If you watch the film of those previous few games, you know Hallsville is not as bad of a defense as those numbers say they are. They aren't, and there's no two ways around that. They have allowed much more points than it seems like they should have based on the way that they've played. They continue to get those TFLs. They continue to create pressure, and they're showing off that this game. They showed it off last week against Macon, but I think a lot of people might have written that off because, it's Macon, and they were 0-3 heading into that game. Now they're 0-4 on the season. But now you're facing a team that's 3-1. They've proven themselves against other squads. Hallsville can now have a really big defensive presence. If they play good defense here and in the second half, and they're able to continue holding them off, I think you can really treat this Hallsville defense as an elite performance.
Yeah, well, the Hallsville offense has been pretty steadily consistent for most of the year. They've been a presence. You know you've got your weapons. You know you've got a good quarterback. It's the defense that is kind of allowed. There's been some games where it's like, okay, you shouldn't be losing when you're scoring 26, 27 points in that range. The Hallsville defense, though, stepping up against a good offense is a really good sign for the future of this team, not only in the second half of this game, but the future for the rest of the season in terms of making that comeback. Their record right now is 1-3. You said it, Hallsville is not 1-3 bad. They're a good football team.
Yes.
The turnaround is coming. It was just a matter of time. They're a new team, almost no returning starters on offense, a new head coach. It was going to have some growing periods, growing pains. They're kind of breaking through that shell right now. They're really coming together on their own. You're seeing these pieces on both sides of the ball start to flourish and kind of bloom in the new system, and they're really looking like they could be a legit threat come playoff time.
Yes, they definitely do look like that. Well, I think that's enough analysis kind of looking at this half. Of course, we do have the second half of action coming up for you and still a little bit of time. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get you to scores from around the area here and taking a look at kind of how things have gone. First off, we're going to go over between Boonville and Blair Oaks, where the Falcons lead 55-0 over Boonville in the fourth quarter. That game is already a ways into it. Over in Palmyra, North Callaway up 18-6 in the fourth quarter. Osage leading 17-7 over California. Brookfield 44-8 over Putnam County. Macon down 24-7 against Centralia. Rockbridge down 15-7 against Helias. That's a very good matchup right there. Helias, of course, has been having a good season, but so is Rockbridge. Herman 35-6 over Owensville in the third quarter. Marceline 19-6 over Maysville in the third. Kirksville is leading 35-0 over Marshall. North County is down 14-10 against Rolla in the third. Scotland County down 22-0 against Salisbury in the third quarter. Over in Versailles, it's 42-0 Warsaw leading in the third. 14-0 between Camdenton and Battle. The Camdenton Lakers leading at the half. Cap City up 35-7 on Jeff City at the half. That was an interesting game to me, but man, Cap City's coming out big. Over in Lone Jack, 31-8 between Colcamp and the Mules. Lynn down 54-6 at the half against Fayette. West Platte down 42-21 against Father Tolton. Moberly leads 42-6 against Fulton at the half. Harrisburg up 14-12 against Tipton. Hannibal leads 26-0 against Mexico at the half. Van Far 28-0 over Montgomery County. Along with that, North Shelby 30-8 against Paris. And South Callaway 32-20 over Russellville. Hickman 14-0 against Smith Cotton in the second quarter. Gallatin 12-7 over Western in the first. And that is all the scores from around the area. So, of course, Hallsville in this game, 24-13. That's all the updates from out of town. We've got still a little bit of time for you. It's a longer halftime, so we're going to go ahead and take you to a commercial break here as we get ready for the second half of action from Eldon. Hallsville 24-13 here. We will return next on the Show Me Sports Network with our coverage of Hallsville Indians football.
We are entrepreneurs, doctors, vets, and storytellers. We're business leaders, educators, and performers. We are scientists, nurses, and trendsetters. We break the mold and get it done. We are visionary, world-changing magic makers. We are Stevens College. Be yourself. Be good at it. For more information, visit stevens.edu.
Since 1951, Ren's Automotive has been the leader in complete automotive and tire services, proudly serving the Ashland community and southern Boone County area. Servicing all makes and models of vehicles, customer satisfaction is their top priority. If your vehicle leaves you stranded, no need to worry, as Ren's Automotive offers 24-hour towing services. To schedule an appointment, call 573-657-4614 or stop by and see Terry, Peggy, Derek, and the crew at 124 East Broadway in Ashland. Ren's Automotive, your full-service automotive repair shop for over 70 years.
In today's world, injury prevention is at the top of everyone's list. However, heat-related occurrences get routinely overlooked. Zealous WBGT puts that front and center. By using cutting-edge formulas and technology, Zealous WBGT streamlines and simplifies obtaining and documenting wet bulb globe temperature readings. With a simple touch of a button, you can check WBGT anywhere in the world, receiving alerts when the WBGT goes over the threshold you select. Join the stress-free way to protect student-athletes, employees, and overall operations from extreme heat by downloading the free Zealous WBGT app today. Save time, save money, save lives with Zealous WBGT.
Since 2018, Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC has been specializing in all things custom, using large format, high-powered lasers with some of the most advanced technologies on the market. Anything can become a canvas. This state-of-the-art system makes quick work of custom engraving on cups, glass, tile, wood, acrylic, metal, headstones with endless possibilities. They also offer custom one-of-a-kind signs that are sure to make your design stand out. Find them on Facebook at Han Custom Laser Engraving or call 573-489-8732 to find out more. Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC, a veteran-owned business.
We need you. We need you. We need you.
We need you, now more than ever.
The Southern Boone School District is hiring part-time bus drivers for route athletics and activities with no experience necessary. Our drivers enjoy flexible work hours, paid on-site CDL training, and paid time off, all while helping our community. The position offers competitive pay. Go visit sbschools.us/employment.
We need you.
Hello, Blake Gazaway here with the Show Me Sports Network. I've had the opportunity to have some amazing calls, including overtime touchdowns, walk-off home runs, and buzzer-beating baskets. But I've answered another call. That's to serve my community as a volunteer firefighter. Stop and think what would happen if your home or property caught fire and no one was there to put it out. Every day, volunteer firefighters not only save lives and property, but also respond to other emergencies. Nearly 2/3 of our nation's fire departments are manned by volunteer firefighters. And because of this, we simply need more volunteers to step up and answer the call. Stop by or contact your local fire department and see how you can become a volunteer firefighter today. I answered the call to serve my community. Will you?
At Hallsville School District, our educators do more than just teach. Lives are being shaped for the future before they even enter a classroom. For students to succeed, it takes an entire district-wide team. Join Hallsville School District's team today, now offering competitive salaries and benefits for all positions. Visit hallsville.org and click on the employment link under Our District tab.
Creating custom, handcrafted woodworking projects has never been easier. Become a member of Sawdust Studios and enjoy 24/7 access to a woodworker's paradise. Outfit with industry-leading professional-grade tools, Sawdust Studios offers endless woodworking possibilities. Don't have woodworking experience? No problem, as Sawdust Studios offers affordable classes from a community of woodworkers, experienced designers, and master craftsmen. Youth classes are also offered for those junior woodworkers. For more information, search Sawdust Studios on Facebook or find them online at sawdust247.com. Sawdust Studios, your community woodshop.
Attention Indians fans, here's your chance to help the student athletes of Hallsville by becoming a member of the Hallsville Athletic Boosters. Your gifts help provide all Hallsville athletes with a safe and positive experience while attending our school district, and also help purchase items that our sports team couldn't otherwise afford. You can join the Hallsville Athletic Boosters this season for as little as $25. Membership is open to everyone. Interested in joining? Look them up on Facebook by searching Hallsville Athletic Boosters or email them at hallsvilleathleticboosters@gmail.com. Let's go Indians!
You want great benefits from your work, but you don't want a boring desk job. Then again, if you're active and working outside, your benefits are gonna be awful, if you have any at all. Unless you work at Salter Lawn Service. 4-day work weeks with a full 40 hours, paid overtime, vacation, 401k, and full health insurance. Right now, Salter is looking for career-minded workers, so get started with a career you'll love and benefits you can actually brag about. Apply now at salterlawnservice.com.
Are you in the market to buy your first home? Maybe it's time to buy some acreage. How about invest in a new space for your growing business? No matter the need, your trusted partner in real estate is me, Izzy Smith of Izzy Smith Homes, Remax Moon Realty. I believe real estate is more than just bricks and mortar. It's the cornerstone of our lives. It's where memories are made and dreams are realized. Choosing me as your realtor, you're getting a professional, dedicated advocate who will work tirelessly to make your real estate dreams a reality. Give me a call today at 573-876-2873 or visit izzysmithhomes.com. Izzy Smith Homes, Remax Moon Realty, your hometown realtor working harder for you.
Last Sentinel Firearms is your federally licensed and registered Type 7 FFL manufacturer dealer in Missouri, providing quality products to all types of sports enthusiasts, law enforcement, and individuals across the nation. Orders are currently being fulfilled, offering custom-built pistols and rifles from the AR platform made right here in Missouri. Visit their website at lastsentinelfirearms.com or call them at 417-684-7202 to find out what they've got for you. Last Sentinel Firearms, you are your last line of defense.
Well, hello and welcome back into Hallsville Indians football coverage here on the Show Me Sports Network. I'm Austin Thomas, and to my right side, Killian Wright, as we are just about 2 minutes away from the second half kickoff, presented to you by Izzy Smith Homes, Remax Boone Realty. And, well, I am excited to be bringing that action for you. And an exciting second half, of course, getting ready to go here in Hallsville as the Indians lead 24-13 entering the third quarter of play. And like I said, these two teams getting warmed up. Killian, what are you looking forward to in this third quarter?
I'm really interested to see how Eldon's going to come out because, to me, the atmosphere of the game and the research before it, it really seemed like Eldon was kind of had the upper hand, and they had the confidence going into the game. And now that they're down double digits going into the second half, how are they going to respond? Clearly, we got some warm-ups out here. They're running some sprints already. Coach isn't too happy with their performance and effort if they're running sprints after halftime. But we'll see the intensity they come out with.
Yeah, no, Coach isn't too happy with that. 24-13, and, I kind of look at this, and I think offensively, you're not super angry with the way that Eldon has been playing. I think you look at the way that it's been going, and it's not bad. Not been great, but it hasn't been bad. That hasn't been the reason. To me, it seems like defensively, they're just allowing too much from Hallsville. Hallsville is really getting whatever they want, minus a couple of penalties or, the minor mistake here and there, and they've been easily able to make up for that with the rest of their offense. And to me, that's kind of the big question for this second half is, will Eldon's defense be able to take a step up and really force Braden Matheny to feel uncomfortable? I don't think he's felt uncomfortable this game at all. It seemed like he's been able to just sit back there and, he gets to do whatever he wants. So I'm going to give a big shout out to the guys up front on the offensive line, Liam Davis, Peyton Harlow, Connor George, Tyson Perigo, and Bryce Greening. I mean, they have looked great up there. A very young offensive line, as we know. You look at it and, 2 freshmen, a sophomore, and then, of course, Bryce Greening and Tyson Perigo, the junior and senior out there. But overall, this group had a lot to build on early in the season, and it seems like they're making a lot of strides out here.
Yeah, well, Matheny's been very good. In the few cases when he has got pressured, he's been very good at just keeping calm, kind of shifting outside the pocket, a little bit of rollout action, but usually is pretty set by the time he throws the ball. And so I'm not even sure if blitzing is really a solution here, because it seems like Matheny's been pretty decisive and quick. So honestly, the strategy might be for Eldon to just kind of sit back and rush even less guys, honestly, and just try and swarm guys like Stinson and Ski.
And almost time for that second half kickoff, presented to you by Izzy Smith Homes, RE/MAX Boone Realty.
Are you in the market to buy your first home? Maybe it's time to buy some acreage. How about invest in a new space for your growing business? No matter the need, your trusted partner in real estate is me, Izzy Smith of Izzy Smith Homes, RE/MAX Boone Realty. I believe real estate is more than just bricks and mortar. It's the cornerstone of our lives. It's where memories are made and dreams are realized. Choosing me as your realtor, you're getting a professional, dedicated advocate who will work tirelessly to make your real estate dreams a reality. Give me a call today at 573-876-2873 or visit izzysmithhomes.com. Izzy Smith Homes, RE/MAX Boone Realty, your hometown realtor working harder for you.
And now your Izzy Smith Homes, RE/MAX Boone Realty kickoff for the second half is just about underway. Killian, go ahead and take us away.
We've got Andrew Beanland back there for the Mustangs to return the kick once again. Don't want to give that guy a full head of steam, so I'm sure we'll see a Hallsville onside kick. Probably won't see Andrew Beanland with the opportunity to return it. Hallsville's been very good at returning their onside kicks so far this season, so we'll see if they can convert their 7th in 5 games, excuse me. Trying to get a little situated right here. The first 2 didn't work, which is uncharacteristic because, as I said, they have a really high conversion rate on them. Resetting again, ball will just not stay on the thing. I will be opening up this third quarter solo, as me and Austin are pretty hungry, so he's going to run down to the concession stand and grab us some hot dogs. So I will be full-time play-by-play and color for the foreseeable future. Big line down there as we wait. Kickoff finally underway. Onside kick once again. Bounces and picked up. Mustangs get it and actually return it for about 10 more yards. So that's the first time that they've been able to make any sort of return out of one of the failed onside kicks. So not too sure if Hallsville will keep going back to that so far. And Austin is actually back with us. The line must have been too long for the hot dogs.
It's still too long right now. Man, I was looking forward to that. I'm so hungry, man. But you know what? I'm going to find a spot. I'm going to find a time later in this quarter. It's going to work out. We're going to get ourselves some food.
We'll get it. We're a little hungry. All right, so Mustangs now starting their drive around the 45-yard line. Beanland's going to take a direct snap and rush it forward for about 15-yard gain. That's Evan Beanland, the quarterback. Again, Evan Beanland's going to hit triple-digit rushing yards on the game if he keeps going like this. The direct and planned rushes are really working. He just kind of runs right up the gut, and the offensive line has been really good in terms of run blocking for Evan Beanland.
Yeah, I'm starting to think maybe I shouldn't have left the booth right now, because all of a sudden Eldon's got some momentum going their way.
Were you the reason?
No, of course not.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Evan Beanland in the backfield now. He's going to take another direct snap, run it up the gut once again, brought down by about 5 Hallsville defenders, and he'll get them inside the red zone. So right away, the Mustangs are going to start their first drive of the second half, getting to the end zone just within a few minutes.
Yeah, and really things looking good for that Eldon offense. It's looking exactly like what it looked like at the beginning of the game. That very first drive in the first quarter for Eldon, they looked exactly like this.
Whatever Coach Griffin is saying in that pregame and in that halftime speech, he needs to just say it after every drive. Keep that intensity high, whatever motivation he's giving him. Beanland takes another snap, another designed run for Evan Beanland, the quarterback. This time, Hallsville shuts it down, brought down in the backfield by about 4 defenders, gets absolutely nowhere with it. So, after running the same play about 3 times, Hallsville finally shuts it down.
Yeah, well, they ran that play a couple of times back in the first half as well, and it seems like Hallsville is kind of preparing for the pass, but that's not what ended up working for them in that first half. And Hallsville, again, they've just got to make sure that they keep stopping that run play and see if they can force Evan Beanland to throw the ball.
We'll see what Beanland does with it here. Joined in the backfield by a monster running back, maybe even a lineman. Beeland takes a direct snap again, so they're just going to keep going, and Beeland plows through 4 people all the way down to the 4. Beeland falls forward after breaking 3 tackles, puts them right on the goal line, 1st and goal for the Mustangs in a jumbo set.
It looks like the offensive, the running back that you had said, that was actually Eric Krantz back there, kind of running the fullback position for the Mustangs, and it ended up, well, hey, it worked out a lot. The blocking ability helped open up that lane for Evan Beeland.
Evan Beeland now by himself in the backfield, although Eric Krantz is now blocking, kind of in a tight end spot. And Beeland takes a direct snap again, rushes forward, falls down, end zone, touchdown. Evan Beeland plows through, and he's hyped. Mustangs run right up the gut 6 or 7 times in a row with the quarterback, Evan Beeland, and he does not care. Plows right through Hallsville, and Hallsville had 0 answers for Evan Beeland and the line that drive.
That was all Evan Beeland on that drive, on that possession. It was all him.
Every single yard of scrimmage.
Every single play, basically, that ended up helping, that was him. Now, a big part thanks to the offensive line and the blocking, so I don't want to take away credit from them, but Evan Beeland, man.
2-point conversion here. Evan Beeland does the exact same thing, gets right back to the same spot. So we just witnessed about 7 or 8 plays in a row where Hallsville got positive yardage on every single one except one. On the same thing of Evan Beeland power run right up the gut. So what is Hallsville going to do to stop that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they've got to make sure that they're kind of loading that box. It seems like they're not able to get around those offensive linemen like they were able to earlier, and they're not able to get to the football like they were able to earlier. So it's going to take some adjustment. They've got to make sure that they're able to do that. But they were able to do that in the first quarter, in the first half. In the first quarter, really, they were able to make adjustments. And if they can do the same thing in this third quarter, make the adjustments, and stay in charge of this game, then you're not feeling nearly as bad. You're still up on the scoreboard by 3 right now. See if you can extend it back to a 2-score game.
So, yes, the score is now 24-21. Hallsville leads with about 9:30 remaining in the third quarter. That's a really scary drive if you're the Hallsville defense.
Yes.
I would be very intimidated after that.
I mean, I would as well. I think for Hallsville, they've really felt like outside of that first drive, like I mentioned, they felt in charge of this game. But that first drive was scary as well, and I had talked about it, and I had said, hey, maybe this game isn't going the way that you want it to, but they were able to make it work. And that's going to be the key here is, again, making the adjustments, getting back in a position where you're feeling okay with what you're doing.
Ball blown off the stand for about the 5th time in the last 2 kicks. We'll see if it can stay on. The kick is off, went about nowhere. Hallsville, Dalvin Smith has it at the 30, bobbled it, still is at the 30, taken down. Almost scary situation right there as Dalvin Smith was being rushed by about 4 Mustangs defenders and kind of almost lost the ball.
Yeah, well, he bobbled it off the initial receiving of the return, and he tried to kind of take that up the left sideline. I think he would have tried to take it up the left sideline, at least, if he had cleanly possessed the ball upon the kick. But he wasn't able to, and that led him to come back towards the middle. And once he got there, he was met with all of that traffic and really unable to work out of anything.
We'll see how Hallsville responds with some offense of their own on this drive. We know the defense is probably not feeling too amazing after that drive, but hopefully the offense still has the same confidence from the first half. We'll see what Brady Matheny does here. He calls for the snap, Ski in the backfield, gets the pass, Ski takes a little handoff and runs upfield about 4 yards for a gain.
Yeah, it looks like not too big of a game because he actually started with the ball so far in the backfield. Only able to get 1 yard on that carry, but, I mean, that's what you like to see. You love to see the creativity from Coach Stevens and that offense out there, but, you know, what worked for you in that first half, and it was really just Braden Matheny doing some of those quick throws, but it was also, you know, mixing the ball up and seeing what you could do with creativity and trying to keep that offense hot.
Matheny with Stinson on the left side, all alone, one-on-one. Would not be shocked if he looks at him here. He's joined by White Morse in the backfield. Matheny does go to Stinson, who gets the catch, makes a man miss, makes another man miss, and spins forward for a gain. Great job there by Isaac Stinson, breaking 3 defenders.
Yeah, and he might have just worked himself towards for a first down. That's going to be really close. We're going to see where they mark him.
There's been about 3 or 4 catches just like that where Isaac Stinson sits down around 6 yards and then plows forward for another 3 or 4. Can't really tell if he gets it. Looks like they're going to call it second down, 2nd and 1. Just quite couldn't move the sticks.
Yeah, and a really good play by Isaac Stinson out there. And, well, it sets up Hallsville in a pretty good spot right now. But if you don't get it on 3rd down, you are going to feel worried about it because of how far back it is on 4th.
The pitch to Morris. Morris tries to get upfield. He's stopped. Keep going. Morris was bouncing around between 4 different Mustang defenders.
Yeah, that kind of looked like the play that Andrew Beanland had earlier in the game when his helmet ended up coming off, where it seems like the play is over and then he just keeps staying up. He doesn't quite go down just yet, although he finally does near the end right there.
Yeah, I thought that one was blown dead, and then all of a sudden I look up and White Morris is still plowing on through.
That's just what he does, though. I mean, he keeps moving along, and he keeps moving those chains forward.
So once again, Morris will join Matheny in the backfield. Matheny's going to keep it this time. Throw, pass completed. Not much of a gain of yards right there. Ski gets it, but maybe a yard, if anything.
Well, Gabe Jenkins out there, he put out the block, but it wasn't in the right spot in order for Ski to be able to really avoid the defender that was coming at him. Not really the fault of Gabe Jenkins, more of where Ski ended up catching the ball didn't really allow him to cut back up on the inside, in which Gabe Jenkins was kind of expecting him to cut up.
So the Hallsville now at 2nd and 11 with about 7:18 left. Matheny drops back, looking downfield, has his man with the catch up to the 50, almost a first down there for Ski. So Ski very involved in the offense to start this drive.
Yeah, and it's nice to see him continuing to get the football right here, because it seemed like in that first half he wasn't utilized in really anything outside of the jet sweeps, it felt like.
He's very much been a part of the receiving game. He did get a jet sweep again, but I think the fact that they're looking for him downfield in the air is also a very important factor for the offense.
Yeah, we'll see if they keep kind of doing that, although the referees are talking about. So I think I see a flag down there on the far side of the field, right by that first down, or not by the first down, by the line of scrimmage marker.
You would be correct, yeah.
It looks like they're waving off the flag. So no flag on there. There was a flag down, but they decided there isn't going to be any penalty.
Well, penalties were a big story of the first half, particularly for the Mustangs, but there were a few for Hallsville there at the end. But the Mustangs had multiple drives completely halted and ruined momentum due to penalties. So if they can clean up their penalty play, it'd be hard to see their offense failing.
And, yeah, well, you know, we were kind of talking about, was it a first down, was it not? Looks like it was a first down. That changes things a little bit.
Definitely. So Matheny in the backfield now, ready to take the snap. He's going to fake the handoff to Morris and hit Ski once again. Ski jukes upfield, gets about an 8-yard completion. So Ski with the 4th touch of the drive already.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what Gabe Jenkins wanted to do on the block. You go back to a couple plays ago when I was talking about that block was meant for the inside. Again, the same play, but this time Ski's able to catch it a little further inside, which allows the block to be useful. He's able to cut up the field, create that momentum to go forward, and he's able to create 7 yards out of it.
Hallsville's really moving downfield in this drive. Not necessarily the explosiveness that we've seen in the last 2 quarters in the game beforehand, but that's not a bad thing. These slow, kind of methodical drives are consistently getting these 7-8 yard gains. That's a very good thing.
Yeah, and we saw this really early on last game.
Matheny drops back. He looks downfield, has Stinson. Stinson with a crazy catch, and he breaks free. Isaac Stinson runs in the end zone. Flag on the play, but he made it in the end zone. What a catch. Isaac Stinson over 2 defenders' heads. Keeps running. Not quite sure what the call is, but he's celebrating like they scored. Mustangs completely stopped on the play.
It looked like it was defensive pass interference to me.
He kind of got mauled on it.
It was a lot of contact prior to that. I think the only thing that would take this back is if it's OPI.
And it looks like Stinson arguing with the officials, so it just might be. Teammates kind of patting him on the back. I think he knows. A little bit of chit-chat going on between Stinson and the DBs. Believe you were correct. It might just be OPI.
The look of that flag right there is looming large on this game, because Hallsville, you feel great about that. I mean, that was a phenomenal catch by Isaac Stinson.
He went up and got it. Stinson's verticality is insane. He's just taller, has a better wingspan, and still jumps higher than all these guys.
Well, the referee is going over to talk to Coach Stevens right now, and we're seeing what it is. I assume that, well, I would assume that it would have been a pass interference call and that he was going over, but that conversation is a little bit longer than I was expecting. And I don't know what that conversation was about between the referee and Coach Stevens over there on the far sideline, but now the referees are again meeting up in the middle. This is a tough one. It seemed to me like a simple DPI call, and of course the play continues from there on. There were no whistles.
Well, it's very confusing because it seemed like everyone kind of stopped play after Isaac caught the ball. Not just the two defenders around him. It seemed like everyone just kind of stood after that. So it's really confusing on what happened here.
Looks like they're waving off the flag again, so
maybe it was offsetting.
Maybe they're going to say no. It seems to me like they're going to say that he was down at the 20.
Maybe they're going to call it forward progress. It did take him a second or two to keep going.
Interesting.
Crowd is not happy with that call at all. Plenty of boos. Not sure who's booing, but someone is.
Probably
now
everyone.
They're cheering.
Everyone out there is booing.
I don't think
if you're
anyone knows
Hallsville,
what's
you're
going
booing because
on.
it's not a touchdown. If you're Eldon, you're booing because they still got a long play.
Yeah. All right, well, Matheny's going to try and make up for it here. Looking back at Stinson, he's going to give him a shot. Stinson has it caught back in the end zone. Isaac Stinson makes right up for it, and he is pumped, celebrating with his team in the back of the end zone. Isaac Stinson with a phenomenal catch for his second touchdown of the game.
Why don't they just throw to him every single time out there? I mean, come on. That is ridiculous.
Isaac
man.
Stinson off the line of scrimmage cannot be beat. Immediately dust by his man. And perfect ball placement, by the way, from Brady Matheny. Right in the back of the end zone in a spot only where Stinson can get it. Great body control from Stinson to actually hold on to it. And Hallsville will go for two once again to try and put it back up to a double-digit lead.
They've been good at this game so far. See if they can keep it rolling, although like we've mentioned every time in previous weeks, they've had a rough time with two-point conversions.
Matheny takes the snap. He's looking to throw. Rolls out right. Might just take it himself, and he's brought down before he can get in the end zone by the Mustangs. So Hallsville leads Eldon 30-21 with 5:59 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, and a really good drive right there. You can't say enough about that. Hallsville doing just a phenomenal job to really keep that drive going and keep things rolling along. That's all that you need to do. You just got to keep that offense out there, keep it hot, keep momentum in your favor. They're still up 9 right now. Would have been nice to be up 11 like you were earlier in the game, but again, you're still up 2 scores, and that's the big point at this part of the game.
Yeah, that was a really impressive drive by Hallsville. They had multiple potential momentum killers on that between the penalties, and then Isaac Stinson having the touchdown and it getting called back, and then the forward progress being called, so he wasn't even getting it. Between all those, it would have been really easy to kind of mentally check out right there. But they stayed strong. Isaac Stinson came right back, bounced back. Matheny went back to his guy, his number 1 target all year. That duo is looking as strong as ever. Now Hallsville will kick off. Once again, it appears they're going to go for the onside kick, but hard to tell. If they don't, you've got Andrew Beanland back there to return it, who, like I said, has been very hard to tackle all night. I don't think I've seen one single guy bring him down yet. Kick is off and return. Oh! Picked up by the Mustangs for about 30 yards. Puts them down at the 25, and they'll have really great field position. They finally get that burst of a return they were looking for. After 4 attempts of Hallsville with the onside kicks, the Mustangs finally get one and make some positive yardage out of it. You got to wonder if Hallsville is maybe going to start to shy away from those onside kicks as they have yet to work this season, or work this game, after working all season. The jig might be up. So with 5:51 left in the third quarter, the Mustangs are going to have really good field position on this drive, starting at about the 25, and maybe cut it back down to a 2 or 3 point game. Beanland takes a snap again. Evan Beanland runs up the middle. they're not going to stop this quarterback run. This QB power has been unstoppable in the second half, and they have no reason to stop using it. Until Hallsville proves that they can shut it down for more than one play at a time, the Mustangs can just keep running the same play over and over. And now, officially, I'm solo in the booth as Austin has decided to make his trip to the hot dog stand. And so while we're waiting for him to get back, I'll take over both. Both Beanlands in the backfield, Evan at quarterback, Andrew at running back. Two receivers out wide. QB power once again, runs up the gut, breaks a few tackles, spins, falls forward for even more yards. Evan Beanland with a 10-yard carry, and that's going to put him down around the 5, and I'm sure they're going to go right back to it here. So be ready for the Evan Beanland rushing touchdown. First down, 4 yards to go. They've got 4 opportunities right here for the Mustangs just to pick up 6 yards, not 4. I would be shocked if 4 QB runs don't get it in. They're going to switch up the formation. 2 receivers out wide, 1 on the left. Both Beanlands in the backfield. Evan Beanland takes it, hops forward, brought down without really gaining too many yards. Taken down. That was a great stand by the Hallsville defense. See if they can keep it up and maybe escape this while only allowing a field goal or having a 4 down stand in general and get out of here with 0. You've got to wonder if the Mustangs don't care about the repetitiveness, if they're going to keep it up for an entire goal line drive. Will be very interesting. It's now the linebacker joining Evan Beanland in the backfield, and Beanland's going to take it again, brought down around the 6. So negative yards now on back-to-back plays for these QB powers. Hallsville's first time stopping it 2 consecutive plays in a row. That time they switched up the formation a little bit, brought in a little more size with the linebacker in the backfield, playing a little bit of that fullback role. Looks like they're going to go back to the traditional one, maybe put Andrew Beanland back in the backfield as 44 comes off the field. And they will. Evan Beanland waiting for the snap. 1 receiver way out left. Andrew in motion. Evan keeps himself anyways. Pitch left. Spins. Brought down at the 6. Another play of about 0 net yards gained or lost. Back-to-back-to-back stops for the Hallsville defense in goal line territory. And this is the biggest play of the game. As the clock is dwindling down in the third quarter, only 3 minutes remain with a score of 21-30, Hallsville lead. We're looking at 4th down, I believe. 4th and 5 for the Mustangs. And Austin is back in perfect timing to see this drive come to a close. And it appears we have a player down on the field, so play will be stopped for a minute.
Yeah, you're right. You talk about perfect timing. I'm glad I'm back up in the broadcast booth for this one. Well, how about you take me back through what I missed?
It's the same as last drive, essentially. Hallsville tried their onside kick once again. This time, however, the Mustangs returned it for about 20, 30 yards.
Oh, yeah.
And they got downfield. They started their drive at about the 25, and then back-to-back-to-back plays of Evan Beanland, direct snap, about 8 yards each time. They end up at about the 5 right here, and 3 plays in a row. They ran Evan Beanland QB power twice, stopped both times, once for negative yards, once for 0. And then another time it was Evan Beanland roll out left, pitch to Colin Brisby, and it was unsuccessful, about 0 yards on the play.
Well,
so
congratulations, you passed your test.
Very glad.
on your history of this game and this drive.
I've been locked in.
You've been locked in, yeah, you have.
I have indeed.
Well, it seems to me it's a bit surprising to see a big return on the onside kick. You don't really see that all too often against this Hallsville special teams because really all season long, I was kind of talking about it earlier, I mean, they've got 6 onside recoveries and then really just the one big onside return from Boonville you go back to 2 weeks ago.
Well, they are now 0 for 4 on onside kicks on the night as far as recovering them goes. Now the Mustangs will load the backfield more than any other play this drive. He's got Evan Beanland joined by 3 backs, and he's going to keep it himself anyways. Brought down by the Hallsville defense. Big goal line stand for Hallsville, and this changes the game. Hallsville remains up 2 possessions with just about 3 minutes left in the third quarter, and an insane goal line stand for the group. After getting driven down the field 2 times in a row, when it matters most, Hallsville stood their ground.
Well, and that's exactly what you want out of this team right there. They have just done such a good job at really coming up when it matters. Again, bend, don't break. They did not break right there, and that's exactly what Coach Stevens is looking for out of those boys.
And Coach Stevens has this defense. He has them very mentally tough. Hallsville all night, when they get down, whether it's they have a penalty and negates a play, they throw a bad turnover, they kind of just let the Mustangs drive all over them. Excuse me, I'll cut off. Matheny completes a pass right there for a few yards. It'll be about 2nd and long. But as I was saying, the Hallsville Indians have remained very mentally tough, bouncing back from stakes almost immediately, consistently.
Yeah, they really have. And, well, I'm just impressed by what I'm seeing out there, the fight in those guys. You really can't say enough about the way that they've played. And you just got to hope that they can kind of keep sticking to it. It is very taxing to kind of do that type of defense and continue to bring it every single play. They've done a great job of it so far. But, like I said, they might be getting tired by the end of the fourth quarter. They got to make sure they keep up.
Matheny hands off to Morris, and Morris is stopped for about a 1 or 2 yard gain, so it'll still be 2nd and long. One of the few runs we've seen to Wyatt Morris in the second half, they've pretty much stayed true to themselves and just kept airing it out no matter the score. So interesting to see a run on 2nd and long, maybe trying to catch the Mustangs off guard.
Yeah, maybe a little bit right there, and I wouldn't be too shocked if that's what that was to do. I'm kind of interested to see, 3rd and 5 right here. What if they did it again? It would be very surprising for this team. I could see it breaking big.
Well, he's now joined by Dalvin Smith in the backfield, so I'm assuming if they do handle off, it'll be a bit of a more outside run. But he does have 4 receivers out wide, and he's going to roll out right and immediately throw one way over the head of – that was Dalvin Smith, excuse me. Throws one way over the head. Not really sure what the game plan was there, but not much going on in that play in general.
That one really didn't break the way that Hallsville was hoping for it. It seemed like it kind of had I kind of saw the idea right there, kind of build up and try and get that to move downfield. But with where you're situated at and the fact that could break, it would be very difficult to kind of make that end up working. So, you kind of look at this right here and the punt team, and as here's the punt up and away, and that one will end up going out the sideline for a punt. But 1:18 to go here, and it looks kind of interesting with the way that this one's gone.
Hallsville's kept their pretty solid lead after that first drive. After they went up, they've responded every time the Mustangs have scored. The Indians have came right back with a score of their own. This hasn't been a game of runs.
Yeah, no, it definitely hasn't been, and that's what's kind of made this game pretty exciting, because you're watching it and you're on the edge of your seat really the whole time. Hallsville's got a good chance to play well, but we've got to see how it goes.
Mustangs starting with pretty solid field position here. Handoff to Colin Brisby. Taken down just after about 3 or 4 yards gained.
Yeah, going absolutely nowhere on that one. Just a great job by the Hallsville defensive line, again, as always, to just rally around him and make sure that he goes nowhere. And really, I love the way that this Hallsville defense has just continued to look.
And while the Hallsville offensive line is young, the Hallsville defensive line and inside linebackers in general are a very experienced group, all upperclassmen, juniors, and seniors. They've been here. They've been in these situations before. Clearly, this veteran presence is helping the run game, or stop the Mustangs' run game. Beanland going to pitch outright to Andrew Beanland, and all of a sudden, the Mustangs' run game is kind of back to this non-existent plane, where they've been up and down throughout the game of looking unstoppable one drive and then kind of shut down. I'm not really too sure what's going on with it, but Hallsville, once again, kind of bending and not breaking, letting them that's why they're comfortable with these onside kicks. They'll give them this good field position because they're confident in their ability to get them right back off the field.
Yeah, and Hallsville, I mean, they did this kind of in the first quarter as well where, Eldon's offense was running the ball like they were wanting to, and then all of a sudden, not.
And Greenland's going to look deep and actually hit his man. Gets it down to about the 15-yard line. What a catch right there. Caught it while he was already on the ground. Nice little spark play to end the quarter for the Mustangs.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what you want to do. Create yourself some momentum, and Hallsville didn't seem to be ready. They thought it was going to go right towards the half, but that is not what ended up happening. However, that will take us to the end of the third quarter, so we will step aside when we come back. Of course, we have more Hallsville football for you. The fourth quarter coming up next here on the Show Me Sports Network.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of the Show Me Sports Network under the broadcasting rights granted therein. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of the Show Me Sports Network. Announcers are provided by the Show Me Sports Network.
Hi, I'm retired Army Sergeant Trent Dirks, and I want to tell you about an organization that saved and changed my life forever. Retrieving Freedom provides highly trained service dogs to veterans with disabilities and children with autism, absolutely free of charge, thanks to the generous donations and support from people just like you. Experts from Retrieving Freedom help throughout the entire process, from fostering programs through service dog placement. Retrieving Freedom gave me the skilled service dog Tracer, who has been my best friend and my lifeline. To find out more about how you can get involved, volunteer, foster, or to donate, visit their website, retrievingfreedom.org. Retrieving Freedom, changing lives through the training and placement of service dogs for veterans with disabilities and children with autism.
Well, hello and welcome back into the game. First play here for Eldon goes for about 5 yards on the run as we are back with the fourth quarter of Hallsville Indians football for you here on the Show Me Sports Network. Again, kind of looking back at this game so far, it's 30-21, the Hallsville lead. But Eldon seems to have a little bit of momentum right now as they've looked good coming out of halftime. Have kind of cut back into the lead as, well, that third quarter went by pretty quickly, and we are on to the fourth. Eldon trying to punch one in from the 8-yard line as they get back out there. Evan Beanland, Andrew Beanland in the backfield, of course, behind them as well. You have the running back Brisbane, and here's the snap, the handoff. Andrew Beanland trying to take this one up. He's not really going to get too much going on, and the Hallsville defense stands up strong again, close to the goal line.
Hallsville defense has really been impressive in these short-term scenarios when it's the Mustangs only need to get X amount of yards. They only need 10 yards to get in the red zone. They only need 2 yards to get a first down. Hallsville defense has been really good at bending and not breaking. They won't break. They won't allow that gain to happen.
No, they won't. And that's again, been their focus all season long, and it's what made them a defense that, yes, they allow they have allowed a lot of points. It hasn't felt like that. Here comes Eldon back out again, trips on the left side, a single receiver on the right, and a flag is thrown, and I believe that's a delay of game. Yes, it is. The play clock hit 0, and so Eldon will have to take the 5-yard penalty. It was a 3rd and 4. Bring that back 5 yards. It's 3rd and 9 all of a sudden.
A little bit of miscommunication there between the staff and the quarterback. Maybe the receivers never want to get a delay game, especially in the red zone. That might be the worst penalty you can get. It's just so demoralizing to just think that, imagine how stressed you are trying to run this offense, and then you just don't even get a chance to run a play.
Yeah, and that's always a kind of it builds up a block in a quarterback's mind. So it's impressive whenever a quarterback can kind of come out of that and have a great play right after missing that. But it does give you a little bit of extra time to decide what you're going. I believe a timeout was called from Eldon after that, although actually I believe the referees might be saying that the timeout was called before the delay of game was initiated. So that's an interesting decision there, and it looks like it will just be a 3rd and 4 again.
Interesting. There's been a lot of penalties in the first half of the game, and then I think there's been more penalties picked up than there has been actual penalties in the second half.
In the second half, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right about that, actually. But whew, a little bit interesting, but does appear like that will be the call. So Eldon getting back out there and ready to go offensively, and Hallsville getting set on the defensive side of the football. Again, the same formation for Eldon. They've got trips on the left side, single receiver on the right, and then one in the backfield. Motion going for Beckman, and here's the snap. Rolling left side, going to the end zone. It's underthrown, but somehow coming back, Andrew, and he's got it. Touchdown for Eldon. It's a 3-point game with 10:20 to go.
And that play looked dead and lost about 3 seconds into it. No clue how that turned into a touchdown. Great improv by both Evan and Andrew Beelan. Andrew to find some space in the end zone, come back to that ball. Looked like I was dead set that was going to be an interception. And somehow Andrew Beelan makes a play on the ball and comes down with it and scores for the Mustangs.
Yeah, now the 2-point conversion attempt here, a big one, could make it a 1-point game. Some motion along. They've got a heavy offensive line and then 3 extra blockers. Direct snap going to Andrew Beelan, running it up. Ball comes out, but did he cross the plane? They say he did. 2-point conversion is good. It's 30-29.
There's another power run. There's another power run right there by the Mustangs. That's their bread and butter. They don't care if it's working, if it's not working. They're going to keep going back to it over and over and over.
Yeah, and hey, if Hallsville can't stop it, you might as well. Although Hallsville has shown the ability to kind of stop that run every so often, they haven't necessarily needed to do that exact same thing. So you look at it right now, 30-29. Hallsville has the lead, but Eldon has looked good offensively. I think at this point in the game, Hallsville is kind of getting into the spot where they think, okay, maybe, just maybe, we've got to play better offense than they are, rather than thinking about defensively. It feels like the first 2.5 quarters were kind of defensively focused for Hallsville, where they say, hey, you're gonna score less than us. Where now it's, we're gonna score more than you. That's the mindset right here, and that's the way that it seems to me like this might be getting played.
Well, this is a make or break drive because, as I said before, there's yet to be a drive where the Mustangs score where the Indians don't immediately follow it up. And now it's the fourth quarter. All the marbles come down to this, and they tried an onside kick there again. So the Mustangs trying to kind of copy Hallsville.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that, as they had quickly gotten out of the huddle right there and got ready for the kick away, but Hallsville does end up on possession. 10:20 to go, now 10-14, as that one had gotten kicked away, but a really big score there. It had been a little bit since the last touchdown. You have to go back to about 6 minutes to go in that third quarter, and then, of course, Eldon does break that right there. But, yeah, you look at it, like you said, Hallsville has done a good job of responding as Braden Matheny gets back out there with Wyatt Morris to his right side. Here's the snap. It's a little bit low. Quick throw left side. Gabe Jenkins trying to make some room up the left sideline, but a flag on the play. That might be holding and could be coming back. He did go out of bounds after a gain of about 4, so would be 2nd and 6, but we'll wait to see what the flag is.
And like I said, this is a crucial drive for the Indians because they've been able to respond when maybe the pressure hasn't been as high. Yes, there's been pressure, but this is probably the biggest moment of their season so far. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, I would say so as well. And again, just a huge game right here because, of course, Eldon is coming off of a loss. You start a 2-game loss streak, and that really hurts. That really hurts, especially if you lose at home, which they are hosting right now. And so could be a big one to see how this ends up going. But both teams have a lot of pressure to win. Hallsville, of course, up on the scoreboard by 1 right now, as there was holding, and it did go against Hallsville. So the ball is placed back on the 42-yard line in Hallsville territory. Brandon Matheny brings his offense back out there. He's got 2 receivers in the right side slot. Dalvin Smith far right, far left, it's Isaac Stinson. Dropping back, Matheny, plenty of time. He throws up over the middle and not able to be brought in. And it is dropped incomplete by Aiden Ski.
And that was the first drop of the night, I believe, for the Hallsville receivers and skill positions in general.
Well, I believe we've seen one before. I think Dalvin Smith dropped one back in the first,
right.
but I think it really just means it doesn't matter how many that you necessarily have. It just feels like mistakes in general. I feel like you could group that all into one. You know, you talk about mistakes that bring back an offense. That's a mistake right there, but you have a couple of those throughout the night. You're trying to limit those. Dropping back, Braden Matheny, he's rolling out right side, up to the hashes. He tosses this one over the middle. Oh, what a play. Isaac Stinson cutting up to the 40 and in on the hashes up to the 38-yard line. Shiftiness and a beautiful, might I say, Mahomey throw from Braden Matheny. Brings it to a first down, Hallsville.
Yeah, that definitely looked a little Mahomey, I would say. You know, he kind of threw it behind him. You know, Mahomes been doing that lately. But almost, I'm not sure if it was intentional or not, but the way he threw it kind of behind Stinson allowed Stinson to reach back around it, and the defender was not ready for it at all. Stinson using his massive wingspan to kind of snatch it away and then turn upfield immediately.
Yeah, it kind of turned his momentum to the back, which is where he had wanted to juke anyways. It was a great play, and that's just what that connection between Matheny and Stinson is. 9:30 to go in the game. Matheny empty in the backfield. He takes this one up the middle himself. He's running at the hashes up to the 30 to the 29 before he's taken down. A gain of 9 yards. Should be 2nd and 1 coming up after this. Deep into Eldon territory.
And it does look like Hallsville is confidently responding once again. They're putting together a pretty fluent drive overall. A hiccup here or there, but they're bouncing right back each time. It looks like they're going to put themselves in scoring position as they start to creep up on this red zone area. This is Stinson territory. I mean, everywhere is Stinson territory, but this is Stinson scoring territory.
Oh, yeah. Well, anywhere is that, too.
True.
3 receivers on the left, 2 receivers on the right. Empty backfield. Braden Matheny takes a snap. Looking left side. It's Isaac Stinson. Who would have guessed that? As it goes up the middle and down at the 20-yard line. A gain of 10 yards on the play, and it's a first down for Hallsville.
I mean, you said it. Who would have guessed that? I would have never thought that they would target Isaac Stinson in the most crucial part of the game.
You
just
didn't
kidding.
just say that.
He's their best player. So Isaac Stinson, once again, unstoppable. That guy is going to have double-digit catches if he doesn't already. He's an engine, and
I think he might already have 20.
Yeah, the Mustangs have no answer.
Yeah, and that's just what Isaac Stinson does to you. And that's why Hallsville has loved to utilize those short and mid-range passes, because those are so much more difficult to defend than the deep range. 3 receivers on the left, 2 on the right. Matheny takes a snap, running up the middle, right side, trying to get around the edge. He does hit it, 15-10, cuts inside, up the sideline, tiptoes, and out of bounds. Well, he would have been marked at the 3. It looks like they're going to say he stepped out initially back at the 8-yard line where the referee is standing, and it's still enough for a first down. Matheny thought that he was still in bounds, but nonetheless, a great game by Braden Matheny puts them into the red zone, and it's 1st and goal.
I mean, that one looked a little, just kidding. That one looked a little Lamari, I would say. The way he got
a
down
little
to the end zone
Lamari.
right
I don't
there.
know if I've ever heard that before.
I'm going to use it from now on. But
I like that.
He's had some elusiveness to his game so far. He's probably leads the team in rushing yards. He definitely does.
He's had some Lamari aspects to his game.
Have to agree.
Here's some motion to Aiden Ski. He takes the handoff on the jet sweep, trying to break left side, trying to get to the edge, not quite able to, somehow staying up and able to dive forward for a few extra yards before he is marked down. We'll see where they mark him. It looks like the 3 or the 2. It'll be a 2nd and goal from very close.
A little bit of a last-ditch effort there from Ski to kind of throw the ball out. A little risky the way he threw it out there, kind of planted it on the ground. Thought that could have easily been a fumble, but good hands from him to hold it on. If he can make the play, he should.
Yeah, he did just that right there. So a 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line is where they mark him down at. On the left hash, the ball is set. Matheny back out there. 3 receivers on the right, 2 on the left. Matheny empty backfield. Here's some motion. He takes a snap. Matheny looking to run it up himself into the end zone. Touchdown, Hallsville. They extend their lead here in the 4th quarter. Braden Matheny running it in from 3 yards out. It's 36-29 Hallsville.
And we'll have to see how this 2nd down conversion goes. But a 2-point conversion here makes it a 2-possession game with just 7 minutes remaining in the game. That would make it a pretty hard comeback for the Mustangs. Not saying it guarantees it, but a conversion here, that puts you in a pretty good chance to win the game if you're the Indians.
Well, they've been pretty good at these 2-point conversions all game long, but on the season, you look at kind of clutch moments, and that's what's brought them down. Matheny rolling right side. He's got a man left side, open, and the 2-point conversion is good. I believe that was Carter Giesler who ended up making the catch out there. Not a guy who's been able to get too involved, but he makes a big play to extend it to a 9-point game. Carter Giesler on the reception. Well, not quite a reception, but the receiving 2-point conversion. And Hallsville leads 38-29 with 7:08 to go in this game.
And this has been an impressive showing from the Hallsville offense. Last game against Macon, a lot of the offense was just those downfield kind of bombs to Stinson and to Ski and to Burks. But it's like this game, they've kind of got whatever they wanted.
Well, they've had to work for it is what it seems like. It seems like Eldon is going out there. They're playing good defense still, but Hallsville's had a better offense. And when you've got a great offense and you're able to go out there and make these kind of plays and just keep pushing for first down after first down, it really drains the defense. And they're hoping right now it's going to drain that offense. Of course, a lot of two-way players on that Eldon team, and you look at them playing both sides of the football. If you're not able to get stuff done defensively and you're not able to keep cutting into this lead, that's going to start seeping into your play on the offensive side as well. So the onside kick potentially coming for Hallsville. They're set up on the 40. Here comes Riker Haynes. Kick is deep this time, and it is taken by Andrew Beanland, trying to run it up. He's breaking up the middle, juking inside to the outside, and he goes down at the 47 in Hallsville territory. And not what they were hoping was going to happen by kicking it deep. It actually ends up closer than a lot of those onside kicks that they attempt.
So Hallsville, after being a very successful special teams team all season in regards to their kickoffs, normal kickoffs and onside kickoffs, tonight has been like their one true weak point, I would say. There's been multiple times now where the Mustangs end up on the Indian side of the field due to like kind of bad kickoff coverage.
Yeah, and with the deeper kickoff, you're kind of expecting, okay, maybe Hallsville is going to be able to get to them, but they haven't really practiced that this season. It's been mostly the onside kicks. So now Evan and Andrew Beanland in the backfield, receiver in motion. Here's the snap, and a confusion in the backfield as right through the defensive line comes Luke Peasley, the freshman. He got right there to the quarterback before the snap, before the handoff could even take place. A loss of 3 yards on the sack for Peasley. It's 2nd and 13.
You know, I'm not really too sure how that happened. If offensive line just kind of let him slip right there. It looked like he was pretty low to the ground. Might have just kind of slid right between their legs, but he just kind of dove, like helmet first, kind of fell into him like a little kid, but it worked.
Yeah.
A sack is a sack.
Any way that you're able to get it done. So 2nd and 13, Eldon getting set up on the 50-yard line. Couple of motion, and here's the snap, faking the jet sweep, rolling out right side. Evan Beanland looking downfield. He's got a man, but trying to throw on the run. It falls well short and incomplete. 3rd and 13 coming up.
And that is not exactly the Mustangs game. I'm not too sure what prompted them to do that. After an entire game of running and running up the middle and these short passes, I'm not too sure what provoked a roll-out right 20-yard downfield pass. I'm not sure if that was a play call or if that was Evan Beanland kind of doing his own thing, freestyling, but that is not something I expected to see out of the Mustangs offense.
Well, any quarterback is going to feel like, hey, you can make that throw at any time. Me and my flag football games, I think I can do that. But you realize, once in a while, sometimes it's not your night. And, well, they've just got to stick with the run game, it appears, but maybe not here. Trying to go quickly outright. Screen pass attempted, but it hit the ground. It falls incomplete, trying to dump it off over the head of the Hallsville defensive line, who is quickly blitzing Evan Beanland, and it drops incomplete. It hit the ground. 4th and 13, and here comes decision time. Do you punt it away? You're on the 50-yard line, but it's a 4th and 13. You almost certainly have to throw the ball here.
This is probably the game, and it's unfortunate they ended up in this 4th and 13 situation because their passing game has not exactly been good. You can really, if you want to, you can run it, I guess, but it's kind of hard to say that.
Empty backfield coming out here. 3 receivers on the right, 2 on the left. It's a Hallsville-esque look. Here's some motion from the right side, and the snap. Dropping back, Beanland trying to look for space, working his way out of the pocket. He sets up, fires deep downfield, and it is incomplete. Hallsville on the pass defended. Eli, watch him. Coming up huge on that play, and Hallsville gets the ball back with 6 minutes to go.
And Beanland kind of continuing on this bad habit he's had a lot of the game, throwing across the field. He actually rolled out left and had his man Cody Brown very wide open down the left side of the field. I'm not really too sure why he didn't hit that, but that is a very disappointing drive for the Mustangs and puts their chances at coming back in this game at a very grim rate.
Well, the 50-50 ball thrown up in the air by Beanland, just hoped that his receiver would be able to pull it down. He was not able to. The Hallsville fans can even be heard by me up here. Even though they have just that small visitor section over there, they have filled that to the brim, and they are all there after making the hour-long drive out here to Eldon. Hallsville hoping to have a happy bus ride home. And after going on the road to Macon last week, they're going on the road to Eldon here and trying to come away with a back-to-back win. Here's a run play right side, and it's stuffed, going nowhere for Wyatt Morris. Brought down at a loss of 1 yard down at the 48.
So the Hallsville run game, at least running back-wise, traditional handoff style, has not been all too great this game, but it's apparent that they need to drain some clock this drive. So it's interesting to see what they may do if they're going to decide to keep hanging it off and just kind of drain clock, not really care about the yardage they get. Because 5 minutes isn't exactly like game's just over if you waste time.
No, I mean, you're definitely right there. Braden Matheny back with Wyatt Morris in the backfield. 5 seconds on the play clock. He's dropping back to throw left side. He's got Isaac Stinson trying to juke to the outside. It's a complete pass, and he gets his way up to the 45 into Eldon territory. A gain of 7 yards on the play. And it's going to set up a 3rd and 4. 5 minutes left in the game. Hallsville's going to let this continue to drain. Now, Eldon still has 2 timeouts left. That's the big thing.
If Hallsville doesn't feel like running it, completely fine going to Isaac Stinson. You know that guy's not going to drop a ball. You know he's not going to make a mistake. If you don't want to run, go ahead and throw to your best player.
Well, also wouldn't be shocked to see maybe one of those jet sweeps that we've seen throughout the game.
Ski was getting a good amount of those, and Gabe Jenkins got some in the first half, not so much in the second. Ski's got some all game. You might be right.
So here's a little bit of pre-snap motion as Wyatt Morris goes to the left side of Braden Matheny, and a flag on the field, but I believe that the timeout was planned on being called by Hallsville, so I assume they're going to pick that up as Hallsville did call the timeout. No flag. Hallsville gets a timeout called in their favor, and it'll be a 3rd and 4 with 4:26 to go in the game. And this could be a really big play right here. If Hallsville is able to move this for the first down, I mean, you are feeling very good about your odds because you're going to force Eldon to use those timeouts. Both of them are almost certainly going to have to go, and then they've still got to push down the field once, get an onside kick, and then again push down the field a second time if they want to make this a game and get the win. So Hallsville's in a very good spot if they're able to get the first down. If they give it up here, though, well, then you're really opening the door for still Eldon's got a chance.
If you're Hallsville, the one thing you cannot do is turn the ball over. You might not want to risk it. Even though your passing game is working, I think it's better to just run the ball and take some more time off than it is to potentially throw a pick. Even if you don't get any yards, if you don't get another first down out of this, drain a little bit more clock, make them use their timeouts. You can't throw a turnover and just give Eldon the ball back.
Yeah, and the 3rd and 4 is an interesting spot where you might even be able to pick up the first down if you do run it. So it's not like you can't get it. It's not like you're in the position where if you run the ball, you're giving up on a first down. It's still very possible with Wyatt Morris in the backfield and showing multiple defenders that could be blitzing for Eldon as they push up on the defensive line. Here's the snap. Matheny is looking to throw. He's going to go deep left side, a deep ball, and a flag is thrown. That should be defensive pass interference holding against Isaac Stinson, and that's going to be a first down for Hallsville. I believe, waiting on confirmation, the flag is going against Eldon. Move those chains. Hallsville's got a first down with 4:22 to go.
And that is a heartbreaker for the Mustangs. After struggling so badly with penalties in the first half, you stay really clean the entire second half, and then on your game-saving drive on the 3rd down, we can maybe force Hallsville off the field, commit a penalty and pass interference, and the fans are starting to clear the bleachers.
Yes, they are. The home fans are going to be going home unhappy, but it seems like Hallsville might be in a good spot to be celebrating later tonight on the bus ride back home. I did hear that they had a couple of bus problems on the way up here, so hopefully no bus problems on the way back through the grapevine.
They rolled in very late.
4:22 to go in the game, and here's the snap to Braden Matheny. He hands it off. Wyatt Morris running it up the middle. He's not going to get anywhere. It's stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1, but ultimately not getting much on the play up to the 29-yard line. It's 2nd and 9 as the clock drains.
And it doesn't really matter if you don't get any yards on your runs. Go ahead and drain the clock. Take it down. You can run this all the way down to about 2 minutes. At that point, even if you don't get another first down, the Mustangs have 2 minutes left to score on 2 different possessions. It's most likely not going to happen. So just play it safe. Don't turn it over. You should win the game.
Hallsville back there with Braden Matheny and Wyatt Morris in the backfield. 3 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. I'm surprised that they haven't brought that extra receiver in at the tight end spot. And here's the snap with 3:27 to go. Quick throw left side, and it's batted up. It's not caught cleanly by Stinson. It's intercepted. Eldon's got the ball back. What just happened?
What are the
Isaac
chances?
Stinson on a quick screen pass. It bounced out of his hands, off his knee, and into the defender's possession.
I think that might have been the least likely possible thing that could have happened. I don't think any of us saw that coming. I kind of jinxed them, didn't mean to, but at the same time, you're throwing to your best player on a very short pass. That's nightmare scenario. That happens once a season.
Don't go home yet, folks. This game is not over. I'm trying to save these people that are leaving the stands right now. I'm telling them down there. There's still a 9-point game. Eldon's got the football with 3:22 to go. Evan Beanland and Andrew Beanland in the backfield. Here's the snap. Evan Beanland trying to roll out left side and create something. He's going to run it himself up to the 39 and absolutely taken down by multiple Hallsville defenders. Ski, Perigo, and Luke Peasley all in on there. I'm not sure which one's going to get credited for the tackle. Doesn't really matter as that clock continues to drain. 2nd and 11 coming up. Evan Beanland, empty backfield. 3 receivers on the right, 2 on the left. Eldon's got to go quick. Taking a little bit of extra time here. Here's some pre-snap motion. Beckman going across the snap. Looking for some space. Going deep left side. He's got a man. It's a little bit short, but not able to be completed. Oh, man. He had Devin Hardy deep, but not able to get the ball where he wanted it to. And it drops to the ground just out of the reach of the senior wide receiver.
And you can kind of tell fatigue is starting to get to Evan Beanland, probably due to running up the gut, fighting these big linebackers and D-tackles all game. You can tell his shoulders kind of starting to give out. He's having to put his entire body into these throws, not quite getting to the spots they need to be. That one was about 10, 15 yards underthrown. It's getting hard as the game goes on in these long, high-scoring games to keep your offenses this high-powered.
And now it seems like Eldon is getting ready to go. 2:39 left in the game, 3rd and 10. Beckman in motion. Putting 3 receivers on the right side. Here's the snap. Evan Beanland looking to go deep right side. He's got a man. He's open. He makes the catch. Andrew Beanland pushed out of bounds at the 43-yard line and into Hallsville territory. Clock does stop here. Eldon trying to pull off the improbable comeback. Hallsville had the ball with 3:30 to go, and a pass that went awry ended up being intercepted and gave Eldon life.
And this would be a detrimental loss to the Hallsville program if they somehow blow this game.
And they've had a couple games this season that have felt like they've had real chances late, haven't gone their way. Here's the snap, throw left side. It's a little high. Beckman taken down. A great tackle. Carter Giesler. What a play there. Keeps it inbounds, and it moves it to 2nd and 11.
Great play to really get out there, not let him get out of bounds. Really just keep the high pressure on, not allowing these receivers to get any sort of space.
Eldon still hasn't used either of their 2 remaining timeouts. 2 minutes to go. Here's a snap. Evan Beanland looking right side. He's got a man who makes the catch, goes down immediately off the tackle by Eli Washam.
Once again, 0 space to make a move after the catch. The Mustangs are going to have to start looking downfield and hope Evan Beanland can get it there because Hallsville just isn't allowing anything to happen. They're not giving any sort of space.
And that was Cody Brown on the reception. It's 3rd and 8. Here's the snap. Trying to roll out right. Now he looks left side real quick, juking inside. Devin Hardy not going anywhere. A gain of 1 yard on the reception, and it's 4th and 7. The last chance coming up for Eldon after their timeout.
And as we've seen time in and time out this game, when it matters most, the Hallsville defense has gotten stops. They forced Eldon to go on 3rd and 4th down and stopped them from converting then, which is really impressive because Eldon is a super strong conversion team when it comes to both 3rd and 4th down. But Hallsville has really just stood their ground and played a really strong game overall on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and this last drive specifically, it feels like that Hallsville team, really these last couple of plays, I mean, they have gone out there and they have just bottled it up. To be able to consistently go out there and play strong defense that quickly in succession is incredibly tough to do. Whenever you've got kind of that quick running offense near the end of the game, it feels like the offense has the advantage, but Hallsville's defense really able to go out there and prove, hey, we want to be considered the better team right now, and they could be looking at their first Tri-County Conference win.
It's impressive how fast and quick those guys still look out there. Given, as you said, it's the end of the game. There's a minute left. These guys are sprinting like it's the first play of the game.
Yeah, they want to win.
Yeah, clearly. They've got unlimited energy, and clearly Eldon just doesn't. They just can't keep up right now, whether it's they're not, which is just, we wouldn't have expected this because Eldon is the more physical team traditionally than Hallsville. So it's interesting that Hallsville's kind of outlasted them.
Yeah, and Eldon, of course, they did create some momentum with that late game interception. They had a spot of life. They're going to see if they can keep it alive right now as here comes a timeout from Hallsville. Maybe trying to get a look at how that offense is going to line up. A little bit of a ice the offense maybe by Coach Stevens out there as it brings up, again, still a 4th and 9 coming up. Hallsville just resetting defensively, and they want to make sure that they're bringing out their best look. Cannot give up the first down here. You want to just call game. That's the point.
Well, it's 4th and 9, so technically the Mustangs only need 9 yards for a first down, but they're running low on timeouts. You still have to go about 40 yards to get in the end zone and then put together another miracle drive after that.
After an onside kick.
So, yeah, if you can even get the ball back. So, really, you need to score in, like, the next play or two at most. Or you don't really have a shot.
It really seems to me like the onside kick is all or nothing for them at this point. If you're able to score with 20 seconds left, it really is the same thing as with a minute 30 left. You're still hoping on that last drive miracle. That's not really going to change, but you can do that once you get the ball back. But the miracle is really, can you get the ball back? So now Hallsville getting set back out there defensively, and it seems like we will be ready to go. Both teams one timeout left, but both teams have also already called a timeout prior to this snap. So Eldon in the huddle. They are ready to break as the whistles get going, and Evan Beanland will take his squad back out there and see what he can do. Andrew Beanland setting up over on the left side slot. Same with Beckman in the backfield. It's Colin Brisbane. Along with, here's the snap. Looking to throw over the middle. It's short. It's incomplete. And Hallsville should be heading home happy. Turnover on downs, and the Indians get the football back.
And up 11 with just a minute 30 left in the game. You nailed it. This should all but be officially over, and Hallsville will pick up their second win in a row, and it kind of seems like this is a new team.
It really does. That game against Macon really sparked this squad. The defense coming out there and playing their hearts out. And, of course, the offense looking next to unstoppable behind Braden Matheny and his phenomenal game out there. The 38-29 score where it stands with a minute and 26 seconds to go. Just one timeout for both teams. They should be able to kneel the ball here with the 40-second play clock. And, well, we'll have to see if that's what they choose. They might try and run the ball here and just see what they can do, but I don't know if they can kneel the ball. This is kind of that quick spot on math, and it seems like Coach Stevens has done the math as they have victory formation on the field. And here comes the snap. It's a little low, but he takes the knee, and they will kneel out the clock. The final timeout actually taken by Eldon right here. 1:23 left on the clock.
Is the math going to make it so that they're going to have about 2 or 3 seconds left, maybe?
I don't believe so, because I believe Hallsville probably would have been going for it even if that was the case.
Maybe a little petty timeout then.
Let's see. As long as you snap the ball, maybe take a couple of seconds before you put the knee down, and then you put the knee down, and you got to waste 3 seconds right now. That's what you got to do. You got to waste 3 seconds if you're Hallsville. If you can do that, then yes, it is officially game.
Not quite sure the Mustangs could score 2 touchdowns in 3 seconds, but
yeah, for some reason I don't think that either. But they might be able to kick the field goal in a touchdown.
True. I think the field goal itself might take 3 seconds.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's worth just trying to force the snap, because once in a while you get a bad snap, even disregarding anything else. It's very unlikely, but hey, it is kind of that lottery shot, and if a bad snap happens and Eldon's able to get to it, then that would be their one way to get back into it. But again, it seems like this game is over, and we're just waiting for it to officially wrap up here. And all around, again, just a great game from Hallsville. They went out there on every aspect of the football, and they played well. They proved that they were the better team tonight. That's what they did from kickoff all the way up to now. They proved that they were the better team. And the couple of seconds here before he takes the knee, and he officially does, and play clock will get started, but that play clock shouldn't be able to go out. And just 1:10 left in the game. They just need to take one more snap, one more kneel down, and that will do it from Eldon.
Agreed. This was no fluke or lucky win for the Indians. This was a methodical game. They beat the Mustangs in just about every way you can think of. Offensively, defensively, they got whatever they wanted. This was a sound win all around for the Indians. And as their crowd is chanting, "Roll, Tribe, roll," they'll kneel it one more time and end the game to pick up their second win of the season.
And Hallsville moves to 2-3 on the year. Eldon drops to 3-2 on the season. And overall, it seems like Hallsville might just be back after it took a couple games to get going. They are again back in the win column, back-to-back wins, and the team is rolling as these guys step off to the field, just waiting for the final buzzer to sound as it hits 3 seconds, 2, 1, and that officially does it. So the final score again, 38-29. And we will have, of course, the post-game show coming up for you in just a bit. Hallsville having a pretty good game out here. We'll talk about that. We'll break that down, bring you through a scoring recap. Of course, take you to out-of-town scores. And then finally, we will have Coach Stevens coming up here for that post-game interview. So make sure to stay tuned in for that. But from myself, Austin Thomas, and Killian Wright, thanks for tuning in. Still got more coming up for you after this. You're listening to the Show Me Sports Network and Hallsville Indians football coverage.
Running out of some of your favorite Avon products and haven't seen an Avon brochure in quite some time? No need to worry. Avon Independent Sales Representative Michelle Carty can help with your Skin So Soft makeup, jewelry, fragrance, and skincare needs. Avon now carries cleaning supplies, clothing, daily essentials, and several small LG electronic items. You now have the opportunity to shop online 24/7 and have your order shipped directly to your front door by shopping with Michelle at mcarty.avonrepresentative.com or find her on Facebook by searching Avon Carty.
The Boone County Journal is the hometown newspaper of Ashland and Hartsburg since 1969. We know you're busy. Let us keep up with Southern Boone happenings for you. We cover social events, school sports, local government, Southern Boone history, obituaries, and more. Subscribe to the Journal today and get the paper delivered to your mailbox every Wednesday. Digital version also available. Call 573-657-2334 or visit bocojo.com. Independent and veteran owned.
At the Tin Roof Monogram and Gift, we know a gift is more than a box or a bag with a pretty bow. A gift is the lifetime of love that you share. It's friends who grow as close as family. It's moments and milestones, both big and small. Whether receiving or giving, a gift brings joy and happiness. That's why, since 2018, we've made it easier to gift for those you love. Stop by the Tin Roof Monogram and Gift at 108 Corporate Lake Drive in Columbia or call 573-443-4438. Let us help you find that perfect gift for every occasion.
Seeking to express your unique style? How about healthier, clear skin? Look no further than Mary Kay. For more than 60 years, Mary Kay has been offering a wide range of high-quality makeup and skincare products that empower you to shine and stand out in any setting. From luscious lipsticks to vibrant eyeshadows, flawless foundations to glowing highlights, moisturizing serum to blemish and acne regimens, Mary Kay's got you covered. If you don't have a Mary Kay beauty consultant, then I've got you covered. To get your best skin, call me, Cassandra Gazway, today at 417-684-2667 or visit online at marykay.com/Cassandra Gazway.
At Centurion Cares, for more than 3 decades, their focus has been on exceeding customer expectations for contact center software solutions. Their innovative communication solutions include utility interactive voice response software that allows for smart communication features that let your utility deliver superior customer service 24/7. They also provide other streamlined services like automatic call distribution, automated customer callback, reporting, and quality assurance. To find out more about how Centurion Cares can help your business, call them at 727-421-5300 or look them up online at centurioncares.com. Centurion Cares, innovative communication solutions.
There's no better way to celebrate a special event or show someone just how important they are to you than gifting them something handcrafted from Country with a Heart. Handmade in mid-Missouri, Country with a Heart specializes in hand-built woodworking projects for every occasion. Their design collection includes children's furniture, doll furniture, household items, holiday decor, outdoor decorations, custom projects, and everything in between. To view their full inventory of projects, visit countrywithaheart.com and find them on Facebook by joining the Country with a Heart group page.
The following public service announcement is brought to you by the Eddie Gaedel Society, Jefferson City Chapter 10, doing little things to make a big difference.
Want to make a big difference in your community? Be kind to others, drive safely, and put litter in its proper place.
Join us in celebrating Eddie Gaedel's historic Major League appearance as a member of the St. Louis Browns by doing something nice for someone today.
Take a walk, Eddie!
At Southern Boone School District, our educators do more than just teach. Lives are being shaped for the future before they even enter a classroom. For students to succeed, it takes an entire district-wide team. Our students need you. Join Southern Boone School District's team today, now offering competitive salaries and benefits for all positions. Visit ashland.k12.mo.us and click on the Employment tab.
We are entrepreneurs, doctors, vets, and storytellers. We're business leaders, educators, and performers. We are scientists, nurses, and trendsetters. We break the mold and get it done. We are visionary, world-changing magic makers. We are Stevens College. Be yourself. Be good at it. For more information, visit stevens.edu.
Since 1951, Ren's Automotive has been the leader in complete automotive and tire services, proudly serving the Ashland community and southern Boone County area. Servicing all makes and models of vehicles, customer satisfaction is their top priority. If your vehicle leaves you stranded, no need to worry, as Ren's Automotive offers 24-hour towing services. To schedule an appointment, call 573-657-4614 or stop by and see Terry, Peggy, Derek, and the crew at 124 East Broadway in Ashland. Ren's Automotive, your full-service automotive repair shop for over 70 years.
In today's world, injury prevention is at the top of everyone's list. However, heat-related occurrences get routinely overlooked. Zealous WBGT puts that front and center. By using cutting-edge formulas and technology, Zealous WBGT streamlines and simplifies obtaining and documenting wet bulb globe temperature readings. With a simple touch of a button, you can check WBGT anywhere in the world, receiving alerts when the WBGT goes over the threshold you select. Join the stress-free way to protect student-athletes, employees, and overall operations from extreme heat by downloading downloading the free Zealous WBGT app today. Save time, save money, save lives with Zealous WBGT.
Since 2018, Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC has been specializing in all things custom, using large format, high-powered lasers with some of the most advanced technologies on the market. Anything can become a canvas. This state-of-the-art system makes quick work of custom engraving on cups, glass, tile, wood, acrylic, metal, headstones with endless possibilities. They also offer custom one-of-a-kind signs that are sure to make your design stand out. Find them on Facebook at Han Custom Laser Engraving or call 573-489-8732 to find out more. Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC, a veteran-owned business.
We need you. We need you. We need you.
We need you, now more than ever.
The Southern Boone School District is hiring part-time bus drivers for route athletics and activities with no experience necessary. Our drivers enjoy flexible work hours, paid on-site CDL training, and paid time off, all while helping our community. The position offers competitive pay. Go visit sbschools.us/employment.
We need you.
Hello, Blake Gazaway here with the Show Me Sports Network. I've had the opportunity to have some amazing calls, including overtime touchdowns, walk-off home runs, and buzzer-beating baskets. But I've answered another call. That's to serve my community as a volunteer firefighter. Stop and think what would happen if your home or property caught fire and no one was there to put it out. Every day, volunteer firefighters not only save lives and property, but also respond to other emergencies. Nearly 2/3 of our nation's fire departments are manned by volunteer firefighters. And because of this, we simply need more volunteers to step up and answer the call. Stop by or contact your local fire department and see how you can become a volunteer firefighter today. I answered the call to serve my community. Will you?
At Hallsville School District, our educators do more than just teach. Lives are being shaped for the future before they even enter a classroom. For students to succeed, it takes an entire district-wide team. Join Hallsville School District's team today, now offering competitive salaries and benefits for all positions. Visit hallsville.org and click on the employment link under Our District tab.
This is the Hallsville Indians postgame show on the exclusive home for Indians football, the Show Me Sports Network. The Show Me Sports Network broadcast crew will discuss their thoughts on tonight's game as well as look ahead to the next action for the Indians. Exclusive postgame coverage of Hallsville Indians football is brought to you by Avon with Michelle Carty, Boone County Journal, Centurion Cares, Eddie Goodell Society, Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC, Hallsville Athletic Boosters, Last Sentinel Firearms, Retrieving Freedom, Sawdust Studios, and Zealous WBGT. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Hallsville Indians football on the Indians Radio Network. Now let's go live to the field of the Show Me Sports Network broadcast booth.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back into the broadcast booth. So thankful to have you along here in Eldon, Missouri, as the Hallsville Indians ended up taking down the Eldon Mustangs by a score of 38-29. What a game out there for Hallsville. They just played their butts off, and they looked great out there in doing so.
This was the best Hallsville has looked all year. They were just better than Eldon, who's been a good team.
Yeah.
And they were just better on each side of the ball. They were getting whatever they wanted in the passing game, whether it was deep, short, medium, yak. They had everything. Those gadget plays worked. They were really unstoppable on offense. And, again, they give up 30 points. You mentioned this. But the defense was good. It was the best defense I've seen in a 30-point scoring game ever.
Yeah. I mean, it was some really good stuff that we were seeing out there. And, I mean, you really can't say, enough about the way that this team played. I do want to say at the end of the game right there, we saw some nice fireworks here from Eldon. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel if I was one of the Eldon players losing in my home stadium and fireworks go off after. I'm not too sure they were them or Coach was all too happy about it after a loss like that at home.
Yeah.
And the crowd blows up cheering, and then they cheer even more for the fireworks that are for the other team.
Man, the Hallsville crowd, they were so loud. I thought Hallsville was at home after that one. I mean, that's what they sounded like. They were cheering and hyping everyone up. They were getting loud over there. So a big shout out to the Hallsville faithful that ended up making the trek down here to Eldon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was their crowd definitely played a factor in it, but the overall energy that Hallsville had, they were confident and they were aggressive and they were strong and mean the whole game. They didn't look shaken up once, when Andrew Beelan had a run where his helmet came off. That's something that would usually shake a defense up pretty bad, in my opinion. They weren't phased at all. And then Brandon Matheny threw a pretty bad pick. Unfazed. It didn't matter. He just kept on playing. He was not fazed by it. He kept his head on. He had a really strong showing overall.
Yeah, well, as you might be able to see in the background, we've got Coach Stevens right here. So we're going to go ahead and kind of take that switch over into our post-game presser right here with Coach Stevens. And, man, a great win out there for you and the guys. And we're just going to go ahead and right into this. We'll finish up with the rest of the pregame show afterwards. Of course, you guys have a happy bus ride going home after this, so I want to let you get back to that. But just kind of take me through your thoughts of this game, just your immediate reaction coming off the win.
Oh, man, it was exciting. I was proud of the kids. They faced a lot of adversity coming over here, and I told those kids it doesn't matter, no excuses, came off the bus. It wasn't our normal routine, but kids, they listened, they bought in, and they went out there and executed for the most part. And it was in all phases. The offense did some great things out there. Matheny was doing his thing, slinging the rock around, and guys were making plays out there. And we had young guys like Gabe Jenkins that was stepping up and scoring a couple of touchdowns there. And Isaac was just being Isaac again. And up front, our offensive line was continuing to protect for Matheny, and I don't even know if he took maybe a sack or no sacks at all again. So we're continuing to get better and just finding ways to win the football game. And then our defense bailed us out a couple of times there, especially in the second half when they were driving the football. Those kids were very physical. They were running the football against us, and we were just trying to find little adjustments that we can do. And our kids, that whenever they were, the defense was whenever they got close to the goal line there, our defense really did not break there. They were bending, but then when they really needed it, they made plays.
Yeah, and you kind of mentioned it right there. The defense really stepping up and making adjustments throughout the game. Felt like the very first drive of the game, it seemed like Eldon was going to, to me up here in the broadcast booth, it seemed like they were going to run through and own this game on offense. But from then on, you guys made some adjustments. What kind of adjustments did you make in order to really turn that tide in your favor defensively?
Biggest thing was just reading our keys. So they were doing a whole lot of gap scheme stuff, pulling the guards, pulling tackles. We weren't reading our keys, so just telling the kids, hey, we really need to stay disciplined, read our keys, don't look into the backfield. And then they bought into that philosophy, and then they started tackling lower. We were tackling too high, too many missed tackles. But when we had opportunities to make plays, we made plays there defensively. But like you said, when they came out and they were just running the ball, we had to make some adjustments there, kind of putting more people in the box to stop the run.
Yeah, and did you notice at the start of the second half in the third quarter, it was a very similar looking drive to the very first drive that they had in the first quarter. Was it kind of mistakes in falling back into what you started the game as, or did they make an adjustment offensively that you then again had to readjust to?
Yeah, I think it was a combination of both. They kind of went back to what they did at the very beginning of the game, and we weren't adjusting to what they were seeing. They were kind of moving some guys over, whereas unbalanced look, we weren't shifting, so there was an extra running gap there, so that's why they were kind of gashing us. But then also they were owning the line of scrimmage there. They came out, and we knew they were going to be fired up for that second half and come out just like the beginning of the game. They were fresh. They had a long break, so just a combination of those things. But our kids found a way whenever we needed to make plays, and we stopped them whenever it really mattered.
Yeah, and I want to go ahead and take a look back at the offensive side of the ball because, man, oh, man, that was a great game out there. And Isaac Stinson, I don't think he had the stat lines that he did in a couple other games, but he made some important plays out there. And him, along with Gabe Jenkins as well, Gabe Jenkins taking that step up and kind of taking that offensive role that has been passed around between a couple of guys, it feels like, over these first couple of weeks between Ski and Lawson Burks. It was Gabe Jenkins that stepped up big this time. What did you kind of see with him in practice that kind of tipped you off, say, hey, maybe this guy's going to have a big game today?
Well, we got thrown with the curveball. One of our starting wide receivers ended up not being able to play, just had an injury, So it was a last-minute adjustment. I told him Friday, hey, you're going to have to start for us on offense, and he took on the role of it, and we had to move Dalvin to the outside wide receiver. So there was a lot of adjustments we had to make the day of the game, and those kids went out there and made plays when they had opportunities to make plays, and their confidence just continued to grow, and that's what I'm so proud of. And you know, Gabe's only a sophomore, so he has a lot of room to continue to grow and go from there. But I'm just proud of just team-wise everybody, you know, just continuing to step up. And we knew that Isaac was going to draw a lot of attention. He drew a lot of attention tonight with the safety over the top of him, trying to bracket him and whatnot. So it's just taking what they give us and don't try to get outside of ourselves offensively. And then whenever we saw it was cover zero, then that's when we took chances.
Yeah, and again, like I mentioned, Isaac Stinson was great out there. But I want to take a note of Wyatt Morris going out there. I think this was the first game that he didn't end up having a touchdown, but he was really important, kind of more in the middle of the field that has been more utilized by the passing game. I felt like kind of watching it again. I don't have like a stat sheet with me right here, but it seemed to me kind of watching the game that Wyatt Morris in that run game up the middle was a little more utilized, especially early on in the game, kind of in the middle of the field rather than necessarily in the red zone.
Yeah, it just kind of goes back to just taking what they give us. So teams are continuing to try to find a way to stop our offense. So what they ended up doing was they're having a really light box, and I told the guys we have to be able to run the football, you know, whenever we have the numbers advantage. So I saw they only had 4 guys in the box, and so we decided to run there, and we were doing a great job with our guards, both of them freshmen. You know, Connor George did a great job. Guard Peyton Harlow did a great job kicking them out, and then we were trying to run it to that A gap there so we can get vertical and get us in favorable situations, 2nd and short, you know, 3rd and short. So those are downs that we want to be at, just stay on schedule. Tyson Perigo continuing to be Tyson Perigo, anchoring that offensive line as a senior, and he's really been a great leader for that offensive line crew, and those guys all look up to him. And Liam Davis had a great game for us up front, and just kind of going back to Wyatt Morris, he does so much for us that doesn't show up on the stat sheet offensively, just picking up blitzers and helping to keep Braden Matheny clean.
Yeah, and there was one play that I specifically noticed, and I made note of this in the broadcast. I want to say it was the 3rd quarter that I was talking about this, where there was kind of a short, quick pass to Aiden Ski. He was set up in the inside slot, and also kind of a little farther outside to him was Gabe Jenkins. The first play, it was a quick throw over to Ski, and it was a little too far to the outside where the block was set up to go on the inside, and Ski had to go around it, and it allowed the defender to come through. Kind of the next play, it ended up being very similar to that, but the pass was a little further inside, allowing Ski to push up the field using the block to the outside from Gabe Jenkins up there. Were there certain plays that you kind of noticed throughout the game that you ran, you know, either back-to-back or maybe twice out of 3 plays that you noticed didn't work the first time that you said, okay, let's do it again, but let's do it right this time?
Yeah, so, you know, going back to that, that's a hard thing as a coach. You know, you're like, this play on X's and O's should work, you know, and it's frustrating, but at the same time, just having it in the back of your mind that we can go back to it and see if it'll work out. But tonight, it did work out. You know, like you said, there was a couple of times where the ball was a little bit too high or too low or something like that. But I just knew in the back of my mind we still have an advantage there where he was unguarded. So we're going to go back to it and just make sure to line up to where he's in the window where Braden can see him and whatnot. So just finding simple adjustments like that, it's just kind of like a chess match out there, and that's what I really enjoy.
Yeah, definitely a fun game out there, and one that you guys ended up winning. And then real quick, I just want to talk about that last drive out there defensively. It's tough to play defense when they're running a tempo offense and they're not taking huddles and they're just trying to get out there and run those plays as quick as possible. But those guys, man, they went out there and they played like they were dominant. They didn't have any problems out there defensively on that final drive. And really those last 4 plays, just stop after stop after stop, not allowing Eldon. I mean, did you guys do anything differently on that drive specifically with having the clock kind of in the back of your head?
Yeah, just having the clock on our side, and we knew that they were going to have to push the ball down the field. So kind of getting into our prevent defense and we knew we had the wind with us, so we knew the ball wasn't going to be able to travel as far. But just making sure that we understood our assignment and we didn't have any miscommunication or breakdown in the back end of it, and then also just kind of staying in our pass rush lanes to where the quarterback had to stay in the pocket. So those all little things added up to help us to be successful to finish the game out defensively.
Yeah, and I guess one final thing that I noted, at the end of that game right there, man, you guys were so hyped. The crowd was hyped. I could hear the Hallsville crowd from up here. What did that feel like on the field? And then, of course, the fireworks at the end as well.
Yeah, that was exciting. The kids really loved it. The fans, the Hallsville community has been nothing but supportive for these kids, and rightfully so. These kids go out there, they work so hard, and just to see the smiles on the kids' faces and the excitement and the joy and just the buy-in that we're having, but just seeing the success of finally winning with all those close losses that we had early in the season. We just took our lumps and continuing to get better, and that's what we're doing out here. But it feels really good to see it on the scoreboard, and have the community behind these kids, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, well, that's all I've got for you. Anything else you want to add real quick?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you so much.
Well, excited to see next week's game as well. Thank you for coming on the broadcast. And, of course, that was head coach Paul Stevens here on the Hallsville postgame show. We're going to go ahead and just keep on rolling here as hopefully – Coach Stevens, you can have a great bus ride home, and good luck next week as well. And, we continue to roll along here from Eldon, Missouri, where we get back. Let's go ahead and get right into that scoring summary in case you missed it, where let's go back and break down kind of all that happened in case you missed certain parts of the game. Of course, started off in Eldon's favor. That very first drive, I mentioned it to Coach Stevens, and it seemed like Hallsville was going to be in for a long night. Eldon running down that field, and they looked great. It was a quick drive and chunk plays, got them into the end zone. 7-0 Eldon with 8:53 to go, thanks to it. Evan Beanland, 5-yard rushing touchdown. And then the PAT was good as well. Gabe Jenkins followed up with a 68-yard receiving touchdown a little bit later, 3:50 to go in the first quarter. And then the two-point conversion was successful on Isaac Stinson's reception, making it 8-7 Hallsville. Again, the Indians followed that up a little bit later after another big defensive possession. Isaac Stinson catches a 19-yard receiving touchdown, and then Ski with the receiving two-point conversion, making it 16-7 from there. Eldon ended up trying to make the comeback later in the second quarter. They made it 16-13 thanks to Evan Beanland's second touchdown rushing of the game, 10 yards to the house. And with 4:58 left in the second quarter, it seemed like this one was going to keep on being close. However, Hallsville had a great last drive, well, almost last drive to the quarter, I should say. 19 seconds left. They scored a touchdown thanks to Gabe Jenkins scoring a 10-yard reception, his second touchdown of the game, making it 24-13 after another successful two-point conversion thanks to Isaac Stinson's reception. From there, Hallsville did actually get another possession, even with just 19 seconds left, thanks to getting the ball back on an interception, but they didn't do anything at the end of the second quarter. In the third quarter, we're going into the second half. Eldon started off the half strong, making it 24-21. I got a little nervous there. I know you got a little bit nervous, Killian, and you guys at home probably got nervous as well. It was 24-21 with 9:28 to go in the third quarter, thanks to the third rushing touchdown from Evan Beanland, that time for 4 yards. And then the two-point conversion was successful on, again, you guessed it, Evan Beanland running it in. From there, Hallsville was able to extend that lead back up to 2 scores, making it 30-21 on Isaac Stinson's 20-yard receiving touchdown before much later in the fourth quarter, early in the fourth quarter, Andrew Beanland scored the touchdown. He had a 10-yard reception from Evan Beanland and made it a 30-29 game after Evan Beanland's rushing two-point conversion was successful. So a one-point game, but Hallsville, they come back out, 7:08 to go in the fourth quarter, and they score a touchdown thanks to Braden Matheny's 3-yard rushing touchdown, and then Carter Giesler with the reception on it, making it 38-29. From there, Hallsville kind of just locked it down defensively. They were able to force to get the ball back without Eldon scoring. Hallsville continuing to push down the field again. They did give the ball up one more time, but once they got the ball back with just over 4.5 minutes to go, that was all that it took for them to be able to close out the game. So it ended up being a 38-29 game, and overall very strong. We've kind of given our opinion so far and kind of talked, of course we talked with Coach Stevens as well here on the postgame show, but just kind of closing up here, Killian, what were your thoughts just wrapping everything all up in one tidy knot?
I mean, for the first 4 games of the season, as I mentioned during the broadcast, Hallsville is a brand new group of collective between the players and the coaches. It's a new staff, new head coach. Offense is almost entirely new. A lot of underclassmen on the offense. Defense is fairly consistent, but as far as the offense of the coach, it's a new group. They were going through some growing pains, as expected. Reasonably, that happens at every single level, high school, college, NFL. There's growing pains every time. Teams just don't click. That doesn't work. But they finally clicked today. Maybe even you can consider after they clicked after Macon, but today was a really big win. This seems like going forward, this is the Hallsville football team you should expect in coming weeks. Not the stuff we saw weeks 1 through 4. This is Hallsville football.
Yes, it is. Well, I think that's going to do it for that part. Let's go ahead and get to your out-of-town scores here and bring you up to date on what's been going on around the area. Just a few of them, just to kind of bring you up to date again on what's going on. Osage up 32-7 over California. Harrisburg 38-38 with Tipton right in that fourth quarter. That one is very close. Blair Oaks won 62-0 over Boonville. Cap City 49-7 over Jeff City. Along with that, Macon fell for their 5th time in a row. Well, actually, I want to say it's close to their 16th time in a row because they went 0-10 last season. Centralia 38-14 over Macon, and another rough loss for the Tigers. Along with that, Father Tolton 63-35 over West Platte. Moberly won 49-6 over Fulton. Helias fell by 6. Rockbridge won 28-22 over them. A very close game over there. Along with that, Marceline 21-13 over Maysville. Close game there. North Callaway 18-12 over Palmyra. Tough loss for the Panthers, who of course played Hallsville earlier in the season. Hallsville fell in double overtime. What a game to open the season, by the way. That still shocks me with how great that game was. And really a great game there. In other scores, that's going to basically about do it for us here for the score breakdown out-of-town scoreboard. That's going to about do it for us on tonight's broadcast as well. So from myself, Austin Thomas, from Killian Wright, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to tune in next week as the Hallsville Indians get ready to go and see if they can bring their record back to 500 after starting the season 0-3. They're going to be home against Osage, and we're, of course, going to be covering that here on the Show Me Sports Network. So make sure to tune in next week as well. But for myself, Austin Thomas, from Killian Wright, thank you for tuning in, and have a great rest of your night.
Around the world, this is the Show Me Sports Network. The proceeding was an exclusive broadcast property presentation of the Show Me Sports Network and was a high-fidelity, all-digital broadcast. This broadcast is copyright by the Show Me Sports Network for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast without the Show Me Sports Network's written consent is prohibited.